Hey, Larry.
Hello.
Royal isn't being called up as a witness anymore, apparently.
A bit,
Who said that?
Solomon?
He didn't dismiss her as a witness.
Oh, so she should still be here then, and we can still call her up?
She definitely should still be here, and you should be able to call her up, yeah.
Okay.
If she's fucking labeled as a witness on the case, she needs to be
I
here.
would like to file a preliminary
to
motion.
You better go listen to that motion right now.
Yep.
I want to file a failure to appear charge against Judge Coyote.
That's... what?
He's not wrong.
That's my job to request it, damn it!
Well, I'm doing it for you. I want
Alright.
to be the one. I got
If that's the
Fred
case,
fucking
we're
perjury. I want Coyote
also putting in a motion for failure to appear on Royal Temple. She's labeled as a witness in this
she
case.
didn't come here.
I'm not done yet.
I told her
I'm
she
not
didn't
done
have
yet.
to be here.
It doesn't matter. You labeled her as a witness. You need to put her on the docket if you're not calling her anymore.
I can.
You told a witness that you called that not to show up without naming it on the docket?
Yeah, that's kind of screwed up.
Real fucked up.
It's a civil case, which means that the defense has every right to call that witness.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's a
I
civil
didn't know
hearing.
that.
It's
I mean,
a civil hearing. The defense has every right to call everybody here.
Well, that's why she's not here.
I can go ahead and send her an email real quick, just to.
Yeah,
I mean, she could probably wake up, but I would like to motion to strike Royal Temple as a witness.
I would contest that motion as we intend to call her up.
I would contest that we do not intend to violate my client's HIPAA rights in this time and allow talk of therapy.
Your Honor, I'm
Stop. Your Honor, I have a rebuttal for that.
Let me hear it.
Therapy is not bound by HIPAA. It's psychiatry and psychiatrists. Therapy is bound by patient and therapist confidentiality, at which point she has to sign a contract form 4, and then unless that's provided to the state, which it has not at this point, it is null and void.
Game, set, and match goes to the defense on this.
Fuck yeah! Hell yeah!
So just to confirm, you are going to ask a therapist to spill the secrets of an individual without consent?
Have you heard their questions yet, Solomon?
Yeah.
No, I'm just asking if that, because you just made the argument that that's okay. If you're gonna do that, oh my God, we got some issues.
Good thing it's not his call, Your Honor. Just saying.
I think that a lot of the medical individuals in this city would have a lot to say about that, because I don't believe anyone provides such a form.
Your Honor, I would like to point out that I did talk to Ms. Pixie Plum about a previous case about the same exact situation, and she made it very clear that therapists are not a part of Pillbox Medical, but psychiatrists are, and Royal Temple, excuse me, is a therapist.
Once again, game, set, and match goes to the defense. Does Royal call herself a doctor?
I believe so.
Yes, she does.
Is she actually a physician?
I believe
I can double check. 1 second. Let me get a roster real quick.
I think she is a psychiatrist, actually.
Regardless, we were intending to use her as an expert witness.
As an expert witness. Well, then they got you.
Damn!
Well, if they do want to intend to use her as an expert witness, I would like that to be put before the court and nothing personal be said at that point.
If they're using her as an expert witness, then they will question her as one, and not as Miss Quick's therapist.
All right. Well, I can try and get her back here. I told her she's going to be mad at me. Oh.
Well, next time don't dismiss your witnesses.
Yeah, I already sent her an email.
That everybody knows.
Hey, just a heads up, if you're using her as an
did
expert
know. They
witness,
heard
you
me
can't
say
be
it.
asking her questions regarding this.
Put it in the file.
It is
regarding
there.
regarding the
One
incident.
second,
Regarding
let me
her.
edit something.
That's fine.
You answer questions about the job, not about the person.
Right.
I'm
It'll
not
basically
never
be
mind.
all of
Not
my
gonna
cross
do that.
questions are gone, but my direct questions are
If
still
it
there.
ain't in the
AKA
file,
like
it
schizophrenia
didn't
question
happen.
and dementia and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Thus saith arts and the Lord your God.
Oh, well.
All right.
She is coming in.
Hell yeah.
There's an army of us.
Say it right now. I'm the fucking best.
The hell is Coyote?
Holy shit.
I
People are gonna be so
definitely
mad when I
appreciate
quit.
that, yeah.
I'm charged.
Did you just make most of that up?
Charged with perjury and
Did I make most of that
got
up?
a fucking
Yeah.
judge charged
I
with
pulled
failure
about
to appear.
80% of that out of my ass.
Yeah, figured.
I had
sent
no
a
idea
note
on that,
to
actually.
Coyote.
Actually, no. The whole
Not getting any response.
the contract thing I pulled out of my ass. I'll
It's
be
really
honest,
hard for
but the
me to
rest
get
of it is
angry
pretty
and
straightforward.
hold other people to the standard and then have a judge do the exact same thing to me.
Yeah, I sent an email to him
Gasp.
about 15 minutes before the case as well and didn't get a response.
What's that?
I sent an email to him about 15 minutes before the start time and didn't get a response.
Audible gasp.
He is
No.
one of the
Audible sigh.
Oh. Audible
is
push
one of
of
the,
air out of mouth.
key witnesses in
He's one of
our.
the key witnesses, isn't he?
Yes, sir. He is the. Well, I won't say anything unless you request info, but he is probably the witness who has the second most important testimony behind Officer Fox.
I swear to actual God.
Oh, this is great.
Request a recess.
What?
Request like a 5-minute recess.
All right, I'm gonna do a naughty.
Your Honor, could we get a 5-minute recess? Real quick?
Yes.
Thanks.
There you go. Gives you time. Now fucking go spam the judge. Spam it.
Larry, I need to talk to you when you get a second about something other than the case.
I'm talking about baby attorneys.
Oh, after that.
Alright, I'm gonna act like I'm talking,
Right,
just so my mouth
okay,
looks like it's
sorry.
moving and he can't fucking hear me and I don't want to talk to him right now.
All right, Judge Coyote is
He
coming.
has that effect on
Hell
everyone.
yeah, we're good with our
Sweet.
recess, Your Honor. Unless you want to wait for him.
I'm going to request. I'm going to request that you get through him as quickly as possible so he can go back to doing what he was doing. All right.
Okay.
Uh,
Would it be
said
fine
that-
if?
What?
Yeah, I was just planning on calling him second. Would that be fine, or?
How long is your first person going to take? Not too long.
I don't fucking know.
For Christ's sake.
I mean,
No,
I,
do what you have to.
all right. You know what? He agreed to this, gosh darn it.
He did. He did. And he is coming right now.
we'll try
All
and
right.
keep our questions to
Well,
cross
let's
of
do
him.
this. Is everybody prepared to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Fantastic.
Yes, Your Honor.
Order in the court. Order in the court. I am now calling these proceedings into order in the matter of Quickk v. Like everybody and their damn cousin. I think.
Yeah, LSPD in the state, Your Honor.
Yeah. So basically, everybody and their damn cousin.
Mm.
All right. All right. The court is prepared to hear opening statements at this time. I remind everybody that this is a civil hearing and not a criminal trial. Ain't nobody going to jail today. Actually, let me take a look at who's in front of me. Yeah, we got a less than 1% chance that anybody's going to jail today.
Hmm.
Less than 1% chance that anybody's going to jail.
Hell
It's a
yeah.
good day. Now, yada yada, burden of proof, reasonable, burden of proof, lesser, preponderance of evidence versus, etc., so on and so forth. You all have heard me say this spiel 100 times. I ain't gonna bother you with it. Mr. Solomon,
Yes, Your Honor.
here you open a statement.
All right. Let me get out my notes. Oh, wait, I don't need no notes.
Audible gasp.
Dr.
Don't
Cordy,
need no
if you
fire
would,
notes.
if you
Yeah.
like, I can question Dr.
On the
Billiam
ground.
or
All right.
Deputy Billiam Williams.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, today we are here to listen to the horrible case of Honey Quickk. Miss Quickk was maliciously and knowingly falsely imprisoned into a 5150 psychiatric hold with no cause by Officer Fox, who did it solely because he did not like the fact that she exercised her right to not be questioned without an attorney, or wait to answer questions without an attorney, however you view that. This was a wrongful imprisonment, which implicates a state. This was malicious prosecution on the part of Officer Fox, which obviously, implicates Officer Fox, and her civil rights were violated, which implicates the LSPD, and we will prove that all here today. Thank you.
All right.
Have fun proving malice.
Well, so señoría, today we have in front of us another case of an individual suing the PD in the hopes of receiving some kind of monetary gain, while officers risk their lives in the city to protect us. Some people only think on their own well-being, but today we have here Mrs. Quickk suing one of the most respected officers of the department, when he was only performing his duties as an officer, doing his best to protect and serve the people of Los Santos. The plaintiff wants to demonstrate that Officer Fox violated Mrs. Quick's rights by questioning her without the presence of a lawyer, as well fabricating facts in order to obtain a 5150 order from Judge Coyote, while in reality, Officer Fox
Just
never
a
violated
courtroom.
her rights,
So weird.
as he was only concerned about the safety of Mrs. Quickk and the rest of the people of Los Santos, which led to a completely understandable request of a 5150 to Judge Coyote. Thank you, Your Honor.
Plaintiff, let's hear your first witness.
All right. First off, witness will be Officer Fox.
Good luck.
Officer Fox, please step forward.
Missed it, Hardson.
What?
Mind the glass.
No, you only mind the glass when you're going back down. If you screw it up coming back up, then you just moron.
All right.
Sorry,
That's
Fox.
taken into record, Your Honor.
Sorry, Fox. Ain't much I can do about that.
Well, you know, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to come all the way up here during civil. This is the first time I've been in here for a civil case.
Oh, Mazel Tov. You popping his civil cherry. How you like that, Solomon?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always open to popping cherries, Your Honor.
Yeah, all right. Officer Fox, go ahead and raise your hand. Now, you're an LSPD, right?
That is correct.
Do you swear for every bullshit you ought to say before the court today is truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you, Bobby Smith?
I do.
Now, you're swore to the chief. I will call him if I catch you lying in my courtroom. You understand me?
Only guilty men fear the truth, Your Honor.
Very good. Mr. Citizen.
Damn.
All right. Could you please state your name and rank for the record?
Officer Alexander Fox, Los Santos Police.
All right. And how long have you been working for the Los Santos Police Department?
At this point, it's been the better part of 6 months.
All right. And on the date of, what's before June? The month May. That's the one. May 24th, 2020. Did you have any interactions with plaintiff Miss Quickk?
I did. I had one extended interaction with her that went on for roughly an hour or so.
All right. And so what initiated this interaction?
The interaction was initiated by my investigation into a string of house burglaries up in the Vinewood Hills. We had several house burglary alarms go off in the similar vicinity, multiple houses on one street. And after the third or fourth alarm went off, I decided to sit up there and look around to find whoever was essentially chain robbing these houses. And while I was investigating one of the houses that had signs of tampering on the front door, I noted Miss Quickk emerging from the bushes on the opposite side of the street, jumping onto her motorcycle and taking off despite me yelling at her to stop. This prompted the ensuing chase.
All right. And what happened during this chase?
She zigzagged downhill throughout Vinewood Hills for a few minutes before crashing her motorcycle into a wall close to the movie studios in the west end of Vinewood.
Gotcha. And in your 6 months of experience, have you been in many vehicle chases?
Yes, multiple times daily.
All right. How often do these, you can just give an estimate, but how often do these vehicle chases end with one of the parties crashed?
Objection,
Relevance.
Rebuttal. I am looking to find if a vehicle chase causes just cause to believe somebody is a danger to others in terms of 5150?
Overruled. Witness will answer.
Certainly. I don't have an exact stat for that, but if I had to estimate how frequently a chase like that ends in a crash, I'd say probably about
I knew
40%
exactly where he was
of the
going with
time
that, too.
ish.
I just figured
Sometimes
I'd
they
try.
just get away without crashing. Sometimes they stop and get out and run on foot. Sometimes they crash.
Gotcha. All right. Now we will move on. What happened? What happened after the plaintiff crashed in this case?
We were able to tackle and apprehend her before she got too far away. She did stand up and started moving away, but I guess still somewhat disoriented from the crash. She didn't get too far.
All right. And did she seem disoriented to you?
At first, no, but the longer the conversation went on, the more clear it was that something was off.
Okay. And are you aware of any injuries that occurred to plaintiff during this crash?
The only injury she seemed to sustain was a cut to her right hand.
Okay. Now, and that cut was obtained during the crash. Is that correct?
Negative. That cut seemed to be obtained during the tampering of the lock on the houses.
All right. Gotcha. All right. Well, let's move on to the main part. Once you apprehended Miss Quickk, what did you do?
First and foremost, she was detained, searched for illegal items. Upon noting that she had sustained an injury to her hand, we summoned EMS to the scene. I began asking her why she was up in Vinewood, etc. And primarily, she didn't respond to anything except with animal noises. I read her Miranda rights prior to the questioning, and we never really got past that stage. It took me multiple attempts at reading her Miranda rights, but she continued answering, making animal noises, speaking in guttural animal sounds. I don't know if it was supposed to be a squirrel noise or something like that. And then furthermore, I would get through the Miranda rights and I would try asking her these questions, and then sometimes she would stop and ask, who was I? Despite me introducing myself over and over and over and over again, I'd say she asked me my name at least 4 or 5 times in the span of the 10 minutes or so that we were there.
Gotcha. All right. And at any point during this time period, did she assert her right for a lawyer?
At the very end, right around the time the EMS was arriving, she requested a lawyer. So at that time, I ceased trying to get any answers out of her.
All right. And once you had her in, once the EMS had arrived, where did the EMS take her? Or?
EMS informed me that the injury to her hand was a bit too severe to be addressed on scene, and they transported her to Pillbox while I followed behind in my police cruiser.
Okay. And when she was released from the pillbox, what happened?
At that point, we headed to Mission Row for me to do up the paperwork for the 5150. The conversation between her and Judge Coyote, the conversation between Judge Coyote and myself, and everything else actually occurred at Pillbox. So we were there for a significant amount of time. Well, not that significant. I'd say 20 minutes or so. There was a good amount of conversation between all of our parties at Pillbox. By the time we got to Mission Row, Judge Coyote had already approved the 5150, and I was essentially just there to sign the forms.
Gotcha. And at any point before that, had she been placed in a police cruiser?
Prior
Objection,
to
Rollins?
Mission Row?
My rebuttal would be that it is testified that she intentionally banged her head on the side of a police cruiser and then blamed the officer. I'm just trying to figure out when that happened.
That happened as we were leaving Pillbox.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, I'm gonna overrule and just let this go forward, and I'm gonna take that witness's answer and have it remain.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Now let me. So, have you written many police reports in your time?
Relevance.
Yes, I have.
Do you?
Objection, relevance.
Stop. Just wait.
My rebuttal.
Withdraw.
You can't object after he asked it.
He's a
Your
baby
answer's
lawyer.
fine.
He's withdrawing.
Lawyer.
Yeah, I know. Be quick. That's why I'm yelling at you. You gotta yell at your client to say,
Don't yell at
answer
my
it.
baby lawyers. Do your
I'm
question.
instructing them. You gotta yell at the client to
No,
say,
you don't yell.
answer shit.
Solomon, do your
I'm
questions.
the best lawyer there is, goddammit. Number one
Debatable,
homeless lawyer.
highly.
Number one homeless lawyer. Name a better homeless lawyer than me.
Gotcha there. All right.
Yep.
Did you withdraw that objection?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Continue.
All right. Do you generally try to include all relevant facts in a police filing?
Objection leading.
All right. Well,
That's actually good.
That I'm absolutely overruling that.
yeah.
I don't see
Good
how
try.
that is. That's yeah, no. Overruled. Go ahead.
We do generally try to include all the relevant facts.
Did you include all the relevant facts in police report 22899 that was filed about this incident?
I've included as many of them to the best of my memory as I can. Can't
Okay.
claim that I have a perfect memory of everything that occurred, but it should mostly be there.
All right. And how quickly after the incident did you file the police report 22899?
The initial report was filed very quickly. I had to go back and add details after the fact because while I was trying to do the paperwork, we had a major shootout occur. I believe it was at the Polito Bank, forcing me to put the paperwork down and run off to go deal with a violent encounter first. So I had to come back and fill out the rest of the paperwork a couple hours later.
All right. And just a few more. What was your justification for requesting this 5150 call on Miss Quick?
The justification for it was that despite having an extended conversation with her, speaking in calm, even tones the entire time and giving her plenty of time to calm down, she continued to be in a state of alarm or panic while making animal noises and seeming to suffer from some sort of amnesia. I suspected either some sort of paranoia or delusion, but since I'm not a medical professional, I thought it best for her to be seen by an actual psychiatrist.
Okay.
Especially
Damn.
if she was
Nailing it.
delusional
Fox
enough
is good.
to suspect, that cops were going to
expected
do
him to be
something to her or whatever thing she was rambling about on scene.
All right. And what, as a police officer, what is to your knowledge, is a 5150 hold for?
A 5150 hold is to have a medical professional determine whether someone's suffering from a psychiatric or psychological effect that makes them a danger to themselves or others.
All right. And what indications did you have that Honey Quick was a
Why
danger
is
to
my
herself
mouse
or
here
others?
twice? I'm actually getting upset.
Based on
there you go.
all the stuff that I just mentioned.
Had Honey Quick hurt anyone other than crashing in a chase?
No, we were able to stop her before anyone else was injured.
All right. And how often do you request a 5150 hold after somebody has crashed in a chase?
Based off of only a
It's
car crash?
objectionable, but
Never.
I'm not sure what objection.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
And
answer.
were there any other facts that you're related to Judge Coyote that would help or that were related to the 5150 hold?
I'm sorry, could you rephrase or specify this question?
All right. Did you give any Judge Coyote any other facts that would lead him to agreeing with a 5150 hold?
Actually, no. I told Judge Coyote I think I might have a 5150 inside, and he said, okay, let me go talk to her. And then from there on, I said not a single word. Judge Coyote went through the entire process with her, and then at the end concluded, yes, 5150 is approved for this individual.
All right. Gotcha. And when a lawyer was present and you would be able to openly talk with Ms. Quick, did you take any steps to relieve her of this 5150 hold?
Objection relevance? That's not that's duty.
Rebuttal. He put her in there. I want to determine if he ever took steps to get her out,
I did,
had-
actually. I spoke
All
to
right,
Daisy
give
Dukakis.
me a second, folks. Give me a second.
Sure.
Let me hear that objection again.
The objection was based off of relevance, as his duty was fulfilled by the end of the 5150 being approved.
I'd like to volunteer to answer the question if possible.
I mean, all right, you know what?
Sure,
Yeah.
I'm good with withdrawing it if the witness wants to answer.
All right, that one would have been sustained because that's a very good objection, young man. But I'm gonna let you withdraw it if you believe your witness should answer it.
Sure.
All right.
Yes, I'm
so
happy
be
to
it.
answer that one. Yes, I did go out of my way to look after her even after she was being sent to Bolingbrook. I contacted Daisy Dukakis of the Department of Corrections. I said, I've got a person coming in, I believe suffering from some sort of a mental trauma. As soon as there's a lawyer or a psychiatrist available in the city, could you do me a favor, reach out to them and get them to come talk
And
to
this
this
is why I
person
let it
in
through.
Bolingbrook, because I'm probably going to be busy chasing bad guys and getting shot.
Because Fox is fucking great.
Okay. And when the lawyer was available and tried to contact you, what was your reaction?
If you're referring to your conversation with me at Mission Row, I attempted to explain to you my reasoning, and you got extremely aggressive, talked over me, didn't let me finish my sentences, and eventually I told you you'd have to just go through the proper channels because I wasn't going to sit there and go through that kind of abuse.
All right. And how did Miss Quick not answering your questions at the scene make you feel?
Objection relevance.
Rebuttal, we are trying, one of the allegations we are making is malice. How the officer feels is quite important in
that's
that case.
I'm going to overrule. Witness will answer.
It felt like another day at the office. People dodge questions all the time. It's pretty standard for every stop. It doesn't really affect me much at all.
All right, I got no further questions for this witness at the time.
Cross.
Yes, Your Honor.
Not in a rush.
Sorry, Royal.
Good day, Mr. Fox. How are you feeling?
I am fantastic. Just woke up, ready to go.
Okay.
I hope you kept all your
Mr.
questions
Fox,
regarding
did
her
you
medical
continue to
treatment.
speak with Mrs. Quick at all after she invoked
Actually,
her
no.
right
'Cause I
of
believe
counsel?
that we answered all of them.
After
that we
she
had.
invoked her right to counsel, I
About
did
her medical
continue
treatment with
speaking
the
to her, but I no
psychiatrist?
longer questioned
Oh,
her.
Or
My
psychologist?
speaking to
no,
her was
that I
generally
didn't
along
hear.
the lines of, "Are you okay to walk?
Try
Can
to
you
get
keep
those
your
back.
balance? Can
I
you
have a
feel
way to
your
get those
hands?"
on the stand.
etc.
Alright.
And also explaining to her each step of the process as we went. We're heading to Pillbox now. We're heading to Mission Row now. I'm doing paperwork now. That sort of thing. I kept her updated of the situation and asked about her well-being multiple times, but nothing related to the crimes or her mental status was ever brought up.
Okay. In your expert opinion, this Mrs. Quick displayed through her actions and mannerism enough reason to consider her a danger to herself?
I'm sorry, could you say that one more time?
Okay. In your expert opinion, this Mrs. Quick displayed through her actions and mannerisms enough reason to consider her a danger to herself?
Oh, well, considering she had already injured herself, yes, she was definitely a danger to herself. Was trying to determine whether that was a result of a medical or a psychiatric condition, or if that was just your typical criminal fleeing. Based
I got them
on,
back.
the long conversation that I had with her, something was clearly not right from a psychiatric standpoint, and I was concerned at that point that that may have been the reason that she was panicking and fleeing from us due to some sort of a delusion, hence why I decided to opt for a 5150 so she could be looked at.
Okay. No more questions, Your Honor.
Redirect.
All right, just one. Are you a psychiatric professional?
I am not.
Are you qualified to make decisions regarding someone's psychiatric state?
No, which is why we have 5150s.
All right, no further questions.
All right, officer, you may step down.
Recall him.
Mind the glass.
We'd like to
Alright,
recall
We
this.
would like to recall him.
All right, officer, I unfortunately need to ask you to... No. Recall means that when they are presenting their case,
Actually,
they're going to
do
call
we
you
have-
up to the stand a second time.
Cordy, were there any questions that you
Understood.
didn't ask him?
It means that, unfortunately, I cannot let you go right now.
Really,
I'm right down to a couple
I've seen a
questions
couple
for you
of
guys.
there.
And
Okay.
we would like to call Judge Coyote to the stand.
Judge Coyote Russell, please step forward, be sworn in.
This one I'm very curious about. If he thinks
You
this
swear
is the
affirm
second
the
most
story about
important.
to tell court today is who the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you airborne.
I do.
Very good.
All
So it's just
right, can you please state your name and occupation for the record?
Judge Coyote Russell, Justice in the city of Los Angeles.
All right, and on the day of May 24th, 2020, did you have any contact with Officer Alexander Fox?
I did.
What was that contact about?
It was a possible 5150. He wasn't sure if it was one, but he wanted to speak with me to get further instructions or details of how he should probably handle it. and that was pretty much what it was about. The initial contact.
All right. Did you meet with Officer Fox?
I did.
All right. Where did you meet?
Pillbox Medical.
All right. And what did Officer Fox tell you about the situation regarding the 5150?
You gotta remember this is a long time ago, so I'm gonna try to go off the best of my memory.
Corey, take a look at these
But
questions.
The individual was they used their Fifth Amendment right. They didn't want to talk. They asked for an attorney. They were making sounds, grunts. They seemed like they were a danger to themselves.
I like these.
And so from there, he had me. He wanted me to go.
Pretty sure I didn't
possible
actually
5150
give
check.
Coyote any details other than I have a possible 5150
All right. And
inside.
did you proceed with this check?
I did.
All right. What was the result of your check?
I can't
Yeah,
complete this for some
defendant was
reason.
5150.
All right. Did you
Try
speak
writing
with
them
the
down real quick.
defendant at all regarding questioning her?
I did. I asked one simple question.
What was that question?
The question was, I am aware that you waived your Fifth Amendment right. I am a justice. I'm going to interview you for a possible 5150. Do you wish to maintain your Fifth Amendment right being waived, or do you wish to talk?
All right. And did she waive her Fifth Amendment right?
She didn't respond.
Okay. And given that she did not answer your question, what information did you have to go off of regarding this 5150?
Only the officer's information.
All right. And in the officer's information, did he offer any proof of self-harm?
Proof of self-harm?
Or at least allegations, I should say. Allegations of
Sure, his
self-harm.
testimony, sure.
All right. Did he offer any additional details beyond the testimony?
I'm not sure
don't
if that was
get- what do you
objectionable too.
mean? The testimony is, I don't get what you're asking.
Well, sorry. Did he give you any details that he has not already covered in his testimony here today?
No.
Are you sure of that?
Here's the thing. I recall, and I don't know what it, you gotta remember, this happened a long time ago. I remembered this case. I remember there was something about the defendant wanting to harm herself with a lockpick or something, but I don't remember who told me.
All right. Well, I can't testify to that, so. All right, but you do remember a lockpick harm being mentioned at some one point.
I do remember that, yes.
All right. Given the by your professional opinion, professional and expert opinion, what is a 5154?
5150 is someone that could be a harm to themselves or anyone else.
All right.
And usually in the mental capacity instead of the felonious capacity.
Okay. Given the circumstances as they have been described, would you say that minus any mention of lockpick harm or simple crashing of a bicycle, well, no, I won't. Sorry, let me rephrase this. Given the circumstances as they have been described, would you say that Miss Quickk would qualify for a 5150?
Well, I think this case is a little different than I think you would think most, because normally how it would work is I would talk to the individual and I would come to a conclusion. I'm not a psychologist, but if I can get their side of the story, then maybe I can make the right decision of whether they should talk to a psychologist or not. The issue with this is the defendant didn't want to talk to me or wouldn't respond, and I couldn't continue questioning her after the initial question.
What?
Therefore, I never got her side of the story, and I only had the officer. Said everything the officer
Not
gave
6.
me
6 isn't relevant
absolutely
without
showed
7.
that there was
So
some
just 8
sort of
actually.
mental problem that needed to be addressed.
All right, and you mentioned something regarding the lockpick stabbing. Do you have? Oh, sorry. Do you have any other memories? I'm sorry. Do you have any other memories regarding that?
I remembered that the lockpick thing was the main reason why that tilted me to make the decision, but I don't remember how I received the information. But I do remember knowing that.
Gotcha. And did you talk to anyone else in regards to the incident? The incident that happened before meeting with Miss Quickk?
Did I talk to any other individuals about the incident?
Yes.
Yeah, objection. Never mind.
I don't remember. Like, it was a really long time ago.
All right, understood.
That's weirdly
Understood. All right. So if we were to exclude any mentions of a lockpick stabbing, given the circumstances that have been described, driving away from while being chased by police and under suspect of robbing a house and then crashing and animal noises, would you consider that enough to 5151 as it stands now?
Objection leading. He's choosing to like nitpick particular aspects of it.
Rebuttal, I am asking him to consider everything and giving a brief summary and then asking his professional opinion.
Well, not everything.
I am simply asking him to exclude
Say that's still leading.
any current thoughts about a lockpick. He can consider everything else.
That's still leading.
No, that's not leading.
It is leading.
At
What?
all. So I'm going to overrule.
Thank you.
Huh?
I'd say the way that Officer Fox
Yeah, I don't know.
sounds pretty answer, correct?
Yes, you are free to answer.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
From the way that Officer
fine.
Fox,
It's not a big deal.
How disturbed he sound, I do remember that I don't hear many officers in the city actually sound disturbed.
Bam.
The way he was acting, you can tell that something about the situation really scared him or disturbed him. So that, along with the allegations given that there was like demonic noises or something like that, animal sounds, it was weird, and the individual was like,
Don't recall mentioning demonic voices.
from the way he told me, it seemed like it was a delusion or something. I would say, yeah, it would still constitute it, absolutely.
All right, gotcha.
The lockpick was just a tipping stone.
Hi, Daisy.
She would have got 5150 regardless.
I already mentioned you.
She would have gotten 5150 regardless of the tipping stone?
Yes, just because you have a tipping stone doesn't mean there's anything else that can't go over that tipping stone.
Gotcha. And in general, do you trust an officer's reaction to justify a psychiatric hold on someone?
What do you? I don't know what you're asking.
Well, you just testified that the officer seemed disturbed, and that was one of the main reasons that you put a 5150
I
on her.
didn't say
So,
it was the main reason. I said it was a reason.
all right. Do you generally consider that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can, when you look at the individual that dealt with the person, you can definitely get a feel for the. You see, I'm not a psychologist. I have no medical degree in psychology, but I judge a situation or not, and whether I think someone might want to be looked at. It doesn't make me think they're crazy. It doesn't make me think necessarily for sure that they're going to harm anyone, but it's something that we feel might need to be checked out for sure.
Gotcha. And do you know Officer Fox well?
Not really, no.
All right. Had you talked to him about anything else that happened in his day?
Objection relevance.
Rebuttal, I'm trying to figure out if it was a known fact that his disturbance was caused by this, or if it was just something that was assumed.
That would be a hell of an assumption for the judge to make. It's sustained.
Nice.
All right. Well,
I don't think we need to recall Coyote,
then I.
especially since he has a tight schedule. What's your opinion there?
Well, I just have more
If
questions.
you need to recall him, recall him.
I don't think we do.
Once a
You still have
lawyer
a
was
cross.
available and you
Yeah,
were
I
able
have-
to talk
we
to
only
Miss
have two
Quick,
questions on
what was
cross
your
right now.
finding?
I would never able.
If Solomon brings up our arguments at Mission Row, where he was being a complete dick to me,
I
we would
intend to
need
fully object against that.
Are you sure that you were
Trust
never
me.
able to talk to Miss Quick?
that,
That's
and Coyote would
completely
be the
irrelevant.
main
Yes,
witness against
I
that.
don't. This happened a long time ago. To my knowledge, I've never spoken to Miss Quick. I never got an answer, and that was the end of it for me.
Your Honor, I have a question.
Yeah. Fuck this case.
So, can we refresh the witness's memory?
That's your job to do before something like this. So.
All right. Yeah, I don't. The witnesses.
I do. I think I remember speaking to you about it, but I don't ever remember speaking to Miss Quick.
All right. Did you ever get in contact with the lawyer named Solomon Searson regarding this incident?
Yes.
All right. What did Solomon Searson have you do?
I feel like
I don't
What?
remember.
All right.
I know what he's fishing
And
for.
just to say, are you saying that you definitely did not speak to Miss Quick, or that you do not remember doing it?
Wait, I
objection
think-
badgering at this point.
I don't feel badgered.
Okay.
Rebuttal.
No,
That's not what.
overruled. Let there be light. Okay,
Did
that's
I
on the
let
fly.
her? I think I let her out of prison. I'm pretty sure now. I'm thinking about it. Might have
All
been
right.
the one that released her.
Yep. No further questions at this point.
Cross.
Hello, Judge Coyote. How are you feeling today?
I feel like I might have. I feel like I might have to go take remembering pills.
Okay. Well,
No,
don't worry. We'll try to make
or
this.
maybe people might need to prepare their witnesses.
It's hard to do
Yeah,
on the
that
witness
one.
ain't here.
Okay. Judge Coyote.
How
First
long has the
question,
case been up
What is
for?
the process for an officer in obtaining a
Like a month.
5150 from a judge?
They simply just request it and then
Literally a
come
month?
and adjust situation. But in this situation,
Yeah, something like that.
I believe
No,
so.
I think it's been longer than that.
He simply
May
wanted-
29th, 2020.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
just about a month.
Is it the responsibility
Let's
of
hear
a
it from my
judge to
super
perform
robot
a
memory.
full psychiatric evaluation on a potential 5150 case?
No.
Okay. And why did you choose to release her, assuming that you were the one who did it?
It's starting to finally come back to me a little bit. I believe I finally actually I did get the question.
Nice.
And the conversation that I had with her, I don't remember the details of it, but I do remember that it was completely nothing like the stuff that was happening at the hospital.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Judge Coyote, when you say unlike anything that was happening at the hospital, do you mind clarifying a little bit?
Well, here's the thing. When all this is said and done, and after I spoke with her, I don't think that she was a 5150. But the thing is people have the right to remain silent. But just because you have that right doesn't mean that you should use it every single time you have the opportunity to. In this situation, her exercising that right got her put in the place she was. If she simply would have talked to me like she did at the prison, then she wouldn't have been there to get the same outcome.
All right. So based off of the information that you had at the time, though, obviously, given she would not talk to you, it seemed like a reasonable 5150 case.
Correct, because I can only go with the information I have, and the only information I have is the officers, and if I can't get your side of the story, then I have the allegations without the rebuttal.
All right. Thank you. No further questions.
Anybody else for cross?
No, Your Honor.
You're not crossing.
Nope.
All right, redirect. That's you.
Solomon
that's-
is redirect.
Wait, yeah,
Yeah.
Solomon is the redirect.
Yeah,
that's me.
Gentlemen,
I am
was
reading. No,
asking
wait.
If the defense team had anything else they wanted to
Oh,
do.
I'm sorry.
No,
Sorry, Your Honor.
No,
sorry.
Your Honor.
No further questions.
Why was Solomon answering for us? What?
I could read your mind. I'm a good hobo.
He's a very good hobo. Redirect,
Um,
citizen.
Nothing for redirect, Your Honor.
All right.
And we will not be recalling this witness.
All right, Kyle, go back to playing.
Am I not on recall?
Nope.
You are not on recall. Mind the glass. Get the hell out of here.
I think I have Alzheimer's.
What the hell?
I mean, we
get
can
back
That's
talk
to
when
it,
you
about
lose
it
your
if we think
memory,
you
Your Honor.
do.
bastard. We'll see you later.
No, it's not.
What was that?
Nothing.
Alzheimer's is not when you lose your memory.
I will disqualify you from these proceedings right here and now.
I didn't say any. Your Honor, you said he said I think I have Alzheimer's. He said what the hell? And I said that's when you lose your memory, Your Honor. I didn't know if you knew what that was or not.
I'm very aware of what it is.
Oh no.
I'm painfully aware.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Because
Oh.
genetically, I have a very good chance of developing it myself.
Hey, same.
Because my grandfather on my mother's side developed it, which means I'm in trouble.
That's my my grandmammy.
Don't worry, Your Honor. They're developing a lot of good treatments for that nowadays.
And yeah, well, ain't no cure for it. And I've seen some heinous shit. And I don't want to get stuck, in some far-flung country.
True.
That I can't get out of.
Yeah.
Like my grandfather did. He got stuck somewhere particularly nasty. Anyhow, let's continue. I apologize, Larry. There are some things I do not joke about.
No, I'm in the same boat as you are, Your Honor.
You have found another one. Solomon, continue.
Yep. Nextly, we would like to call Quickk to the stand.
Very good, Miss Quick. Please
Okay,
step forward.
okay.
Class.
I actually, wow, mind the glass.
I don't see the glass.
Guy.
I'm a guy.
All right, right there. Just stand right there. Now, raise your hand. Do you swear affirm the story about tell for court today's truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you, Unity the cat?
So yes.
So hey, Buck. I'm actually a little surprised you didn't show up in
Unity
character.
the cat. Should you be lying in my courtroom, I will make a phone call and she will descend from on high and she will scratch you back to ribbons.
Yep.
She's going to be a
Oh,
dog.
jeez. Molotov you.
Yeah, she might do that, but in doing that, she'll probably Molotov herself. It'll get messy, and it'll get
I
kinda
don't know.
hurt.
She managed to get Joy. Not that I helped him hit or anything, but. All right, Miss Quick.
Yes.
Can you please state your name for the record?
Honey Esmek.
All right. And
I have
then
no idea what she said right
on
there.
the day of May 24th, 2020,
Honey aspect, maybe?
were you involved at all in a police chase with Officer Alexander Fox?
Yes.
Okay. What initiated that police chase?
I was on the right wood. I was catching bunnies, and I came out of the bush, and then I was on my bike, and then I heard the officer say, "Can you pull over? I would like to talk to you." And I have had a lot of experience with cops. I do not really trust them, so they always look at me funny because the way I am.
Catching
so
bunnies?
I decided to drive away.
All right. And after driving away, what was the result of your attempted escape?
I hit a wall. I hit my head. I was not wearing a helmet. Then I was kind of woozy, and then I started to run away. And then I remember
Fucking knew
feeling
that was gonna happen.
a
Yeah.
kind of a sting in my back, and then a tackle. Then he tackled me, and then I felt a sting again, and then I think
You're
it
such
was
a fucking
seven-
bully,
Objection narrative
Fox.
at
What
this
the
point?
hell?
That's going to be sustained. Miss Quick, do me a favor. Keep your answers short and to the point. Should your lawyer want more information, he will continue to ask you clarifying questions. All right?
Okay.
You can.
All right. So you mentioned hitting your head. How did you feel after hitting your head?
Whooshy.
All right. And you mentioned, what actions did once the car had crashed? What actions did Officer Fox take to detain you?
He tackled me and chased me.
Gotcha. All right. Did Officer Fox question you?
Yes.
All right. Did he read you your Miranda rights?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. And at any point during this questioning, did you ask for a lawyer?
Yes. It's kind
At
of
what?
hazy. Yeah.
All right. At what point during the questioning did you ask for a lawyer?
Straight away when
Wait,
he
was
said
there DNA answer?
I could ask for a lawyer, then I wanted a lawyer.
Fuck,
Gotcha.
Positive DNA.
Should
Alright.
ask her if she asked for a lawyer in like
Did,
squirrel language.
Did
she didn't request a lawyer.
Did Officer Fox stop
I'll do that.
asking you questions after your request
There's
for
a
a lawyer?
picture in the report. Her DNA's on scene. Second picture.
Got it. Thanks.
I can deal with that if you guys want me to do that.
Yeah,
think he
because I
kept
don't know if
asking
Yeah,
we're
she's-
catching it right
she's
now.
already-
I
Perjured herself too,
As I
saying she was
said,
catching
I
bunnies
was
when I
kind
got
of
all the evidence for the
woozy,
burglary.
checking in and
Yep, I got it.
out.
Gotcha. Do you remember what your response to questionings, be they before or after asking for a lawyer, were?
No.
All right. And were you at any point taken for medical attention?
Yeah, they called an EMS. I think, yeah, she drove me to the hospital.
All right. Once they're at the hospital, what did anyone come to see you?
The EMS.
I'll go up and attempt to get her impeached, and then if that doesn't work, you guys can go up with your questions.
My
Alright,
hand,
that works. Thanks.
and then
I also took a photo of her injury. She's claiming a head injury. The only thing that was wrong with her was her hand.
I saw
That's
the
also true.
judge.
That'll help with the impeachment.
Right.
It's-
And what did
it's
the
in
judge
the-
ask?
it's
I
in the
can't use a
report.
picture of her. That
Yes,
That's true.
I can't do that.
if
It's a little
I
powerful.
still
In this
want
particular
my
case,
rights
I
for
believe you
another-
can.
All right. What was
The
your
picture that's in the
response?
thing I cannot use.
There's very
Fox,
powerful
I'm telling
reasons.
you, I can't
I
use.
believe I said yes.
There's no
It's-
other way for me to do that.
An
Now,
EMS would
were
have to
you
be
fully
here,
comprehending of your situation at that point?
or the doctor that treated her. I can't use this picture.
My head
Okay.
hurt a lot.
Is it because of the way the picture was taken, or just because I'm not an EMS?
It's the way the mechanic works there, too.
All right.
Yes, that's the way the
'Cause
picture's taken.
It's janky.
Now,
Yeah, there's no other way to take it there.
After the judge, well, did the judge leave at
Because
some
in the
point?
time it would take, in the time it would take me to
That's
stop
so
and-
when you go
Right,
up on the
and
stand for root
after the
call,
judge
they can
left, what
question you about the
happened?
injuries that you witnessed on her,
Then the officer
Okay.
and then they
took
can
me
ask
in
you
the
straight up, did you
car,
see a head wound, or did anybody say anything about a
and
head
then I
wound?
hit
And you can do it that
another
way.
car, and then he took me
All right,
back
yeah,
to
fair enough.
Mission Row PD.
All right. Did you
I
purposely
don't know. There's
hit your own
like
head on
the
car?
arguments against that photo are
Nope.
like really
Okay.
They're stupid.
mechanical.
I know.
There's no other
after
way that I
being
can do
brought
that.
down to Mission Row PD, were you asked any more questions?
No.
All right. And after that, did you were you sent in for a 5150?
Yes.
Okay. How long did you spend in this 5150 hold?
Like 290, 300, I think.
Gotcha. All right. And
I'm sorry, real quick, Solomon. What was her answer? I can't understand her.
What? Larry, you can't just say that to
Do you need me to
people.
repeat myself? I can't understand her. What was her answer?
I can't understand you.
Now,
Your
hold
Honor.
on here. That's a perfectly reasonable question to request to make. The witness
Right,
will
good.
repeat her answer to the previous question.
290 to 300. I can't remember.
290 or 300.
Okay,
what?
got it. Months, years, I think he's asking.
Months.
Months.
Okay, I'm good to go, Your Honor.
All right.
Not very good.
And how did you get out of said 5150 hold?
You brought down the judge, Coyote.
Yeah, my good lord, I did bring down the judge.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. Did you speak to Judge Coyote once the lawyer you were advised to?
Yes.
All right. And after the conversation, what was the conclusion?
He let me out.
All right. And were there any
He let her
conditions
out?
upon you being
Yeah,
let
there we
out?
I had to see a psychiatrist.
And did you do so?
Yes.
All right. How has your time in prison?
Did
in
anybody
regards
talk to her?
this
Did a psychiatrist
5150
or
hold
psychologist talk to her at the
reflected
time
upon
she
you?
was being apprehended?
No,
It's
Okay.
not.
wasn't available. There were no lawyers
I
and no
hear
psychologists.
every day people say that or call me crazy, but for an officer who told me that I have nothing to fear, and for him to stand there and call me crazy and sit me down for 50.
I never called her crazy.
That's why I don't trust them. They are all like that. Just because you're different. Why?
I understand.
So you'll go first.
And what do
Yeah,
you
I would
think
love to
of-
ask her the
what
I'm gonna
exact
try something
was
nasty.
your impression of the
Yeah,
officer's
I would love to
intentions?
hear the exact context of when I quote called her crazy.
Yeah. That's a good question.
I
That's a
don't
good point.
know,
I'll bring
but
that up in a question.
don't know why he would make just he he was standing in front of me, calling me crazy and making me feel targeted and
Also,
all
Billiam was there. He
stuff
can also
like
attest to
that.
the fact I
And
never
he
called her
made
crazy.
me feel like
Good
I
point.
was losing my
I'll
mind.
add that there.
All right.
In fact, the only time
At
that I
this
did bring anything
time,
up is when
we
I
have
stepped
no
back.
further questions.
I
for
stepped back
this
privately to
witness.
talk to Billiam, and I said we might be
Alright,
looking at a
very good.
potential
Cross.
5150. We need to get this person some help.
I'm
Everything I
gonna
said.
pop in for the baby attorneys real quick. I'm gonna
Alright.
try something a little advanced and ballsy here. First off,
Objection!
shut up. First off, I would like to go ahead and slap up these pictures on the board right here. It's going to be the pictures from the report that's labeled in the filing.
Alright.
I'll give you one.
What are they,
sandwich
heavy
for $1,000.
pictures?
I gotta reach up high. There's a lot in
Lift
this
some
report I gotta put up
goddamn
there.
weights!
I gotta put it up high. I had to reach. Your Honor.
For the love of-
Yeah, I'll give you a
First of
half
all, I'd like
sandwich.
to start off. Actually, I'll get to that part. That's another advanced thing I want to try later. Miss Quick, do you have the? Are you able to put
good
the
point.
police report that is labeled in this docket?
I'm gonna actually avoid that because that'll make speaking to Royal look bad.
What?
So I'm gonna avoid that.
Are you able to pull up the police report that is labeled that is put in this the case filing?
No.
What?
How?
It's in the court docket. It is under attachments of the original filing. If you just click that,
Perfect.
Just let me know when you get the pictures up.
yep, the pictures should be right at the end of it. There's you fucking school.
Solomon, are you just
Okay.
putting words in people's mouths again? Calm down.
No,
All
that's
right, you got
that's
it?
literally what he just said.
Okay.
Hush, back there.
Can you go ahead and pull up all the pictures that are linked at the bottom of that report, please? It's on the second page, I believe. Let me know when you got them.
I got that.
Okay. Miss Quick, you previously testified that you were trying to catch bunnies. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you at any point try to break into any houses?
Objection, scope.
I'm asking if she was doing that at the same time as she was catching bunnies.
Them breaking into
And at the
houses
same
was not
time-
mentioned.
At the same time, he asked her what she was doing
Genius.
before she was caught, so I'm asking if she was doing the house thing.
Overruled. Witness will answer.
Do you want me to ask you again,
that's
Miss Quick?
fucking amazing.
No.
Okay.
Good job, Larry.
I
That was a
was
good
not
way to tie
robbing
it too.
houses that day.
Okay, were you trying to break into any houses?
No.
Objection, scope.
It goes along with my last question, Your Honor.
Still overruled.
Go ahead, Miss Quick.
No.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd like to reference the second picture. It's going to be second and third picture, excuse me. It's going to be pictures of two separate scenes of
Objection, relevance.
I can't even finish it, Your Honor.
Still
No.
overruled.
I'm going to reference the second and third picture to go over both of the DNA that was found on both scenes of attempted robberies of houses. And then I would also like for the courts to note that that this DNA does come back to Miss Quick.
So
Objection, proof not in evidence.
It absolutely is.
It's in your police
Literally
report that you
there
had
in my
submitted.
report.
All right. Now, with that being said, Miss Quick has adamantly said twice now that she was not trying to rob or break into any houses, and at the same time, she has also said that she was trying to catch bunnies right before being apprehended. With that being said, I'm requesting that her entire testimony be stricken due to contradicting statements in her testimony, and that she be impeached as a witness.
My rebuttal to that would be there are no contradicting statements within her testimony. He's trying to assert something through evidence, and this is not a criminal trial. He is trying to assert something non-relevant to the trial. That she has already been charged and served her time for said crimes. He is trying to bring up an irrelevant point and to strike the witness.
She already
Motion to
lied
stop.
multiple
Stop.
times.
Stop.
Yeah,
Please.
don't talk. Not your time to talk, sir.
Hush,
Your Honor, permission to
everybody.
rebut.
I'll hear the rebuttal.
It doesn't matter if it's criminal or civil or not. She's saying that she was doing one thing when she was obviously and caught doing another, and what she was arrested for, which led to the 5150. At the same time, even though this isn't a criminal trial and her contradicting statements wouldn't change the outcome of her being arrested, would change the outcome as to if she would be telling the truth throughout the rest of her testimony, as she has literally lied twice to my face as well as to her own attorneys during direct examination.
All right, stop. Miss Quick, you say you were chasing bunnies.
Yeah, I was.
Describe to me what chasing bunnies is.
Chasing bunnies. You don't you know what bunnies?
No, tell me how you chase bunnies.
I chase bunnies, when they run up mountain, and then I try to chase them around, and then they run the other way, so I run the other way. I run where the bunny goes.
Okay. Do bunnies sometimes go into houses?
Well, they certainly go in the way and around the house. Just because my DNA might be outside the house, was there any DNA inside the house?
May I point out at one point in the report, real quick, Your Honor?
You may.
It does say that both the DNA samples on both doors were taken off of the doorknob.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna grant your motion this time.
Oof.
You may step down, Miss Quick.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Really nice one.
God damn! I'm the best! Holy shit! Oh, put me in, coach!
I didn't expect that.
Calm down, Larry.
No, that's something to be excited about.
Mr. Searson.
All right. At this time, I don't believe we will be calling any other witnesses. What we would like to do is point to the police report, 22899, and point to some specific evidence that has been placed here. Behaviors noted by the officer in particular. Talking to herself in a corner, repeatedly acting as though she had never met the officer, intentionally banging her head on the side of the police cruiser and blaming the officer, which has not been testified to, but that's fine. Responding to questions and statements with animal noises, repeatedly asking for someone but asking for Betty but refusing to say who or what Betty is. And just point, these are the observations that this Officer Fox here, who he's testified that he includes the relevant details in his reports, that led to a 5150.
Okay.
Yep, here it comes.
Yep. That'll be about it.
All right.
Your Honor, before the defense starts.
Yeah, at this time, the plaintiff will rest.
Thank you.
There you go.
Now
Now
you
go
can
ahead.
speak.
All right, sorry about that. May we get a 5-minute recess?
Court is in recess. 5 minutes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Harry, after pulling shit like that, you better be pushing that perjury charge on Pred.
God damn, dude. I'm the best DA around. Look at that. Besides
Are you
arson.
pushing the perjury charge on Pred?
I don't know what perjury charge you're talking about. You gotta let me know about it. Is that what you wanted to talk to me about earlier?
That's Coyote's job. He said it. Because if you're not pushing the fucking...
What perjury
Pred
charge are you talking about? You can't sit here and cuss me out.
All right, let me go look through all of the
Well,
things
you
real
should
quick.
know, because Coyote said he's going to be sending it
Obviously, I don't. If I just said I don't know.
to you.
I
Well,
miss
talk
you
to
too,
Coyote.
Gracie.
Pred provided fucking falsified
Billiam.
evidence on the stand, and now you're sitting here doing this shit.
All right, I'll talk to him. Don't have your
Yes,
clients lie on the
Since
stand.
since Larry just got the plaintiff's whole testimony thrown out, I'm probably not going to end up needing you after all. Main reason you were here is because she was going to lie and say that I kept questioning her after asking for the lawyer, so I was going to need you here to say no, he didn't. but
I mean, no problem.
Larry just dunked her.
I mean, yeah, we'll still call you up just
into
to
the
strengthen
trash
his
can.
arguments because.
Yeah,
again,
if you need me, I'm here. But yeah, I knew from the start this would be a tough case
that was
for them.
unexpected as fuck. I did not
He
expect him to
just
successfully
dunked
get
their
that.
whole case into the trash.
All right. Sorry, Cordy. I actually had a lot of questions ready for her to weaken it, but that works too.
Yeah, They were trying to argue malice and say that I didn't bother looking after her, and I didn't remember until they were questioning me about it on the stand, but do you recall that I went to you that day and I asked you to keep an eye on her and try to get a lawyer or a therapist down there for her?
Actually, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we called Jonathan Wright, maybe.
You got Solomon there.
Officer Fox, do you
Well,
think
for
that
lawyer,
it's
yeah, we got Solomon.
it's worth raising the question of like what exactly all did you do to try and get Miss Honeyquick psychiatrist or a lawyer?
I mean, you could. I mean, their whole argument hinges on malice. He's trying to act like I hate this person or whatever. I have no idea why. I went out of my way to like talk to DOC personally and try to make sure that this person got looked after so that they could get some help. The only reason we're here is because Solomon has a fat ego and he doesn't like that I made him look stupid at Mission Row afterwards. He started trash talking me, questioning me on like my knowledge of what a 5150 was, asking me why I 5150'd her, and when I tried to answer him, he wouldn't even let me get a sentence out. He wouldn't let me finish my statements, kept just badgering me until I told him, you know what, go submit a FOIA request and go through proper channels. And I don't think he liked that I knew that I didn't have to answer his questions. And after that, that's when this all turned into a case. It's literally just Solomon's pissed at me. The only reason we're here.
Yeah, sounds like Solomon.
Yeah, because I remember now she got sent in, and I was just calling every lawyer I knew, and Solomon was the only one around.
God damn it.
Yeah. Well,
So
I mean,
like
on the
she was
one
sent
hand,
and like at the earliest
Solomon and
moment,
Larry, they can kiss and make up.
I mean, on the one hand, I'm
So-
glad she got some help. On the other hand, I'm annoyed that the lawyer was
Well,
Solomon because I feel like instead of actually getting her any kind of help, he's just gonna argue it. He's gonna like he's willing to die on the hill just for his own ego.
Yeah, I mean, if your parents ever were swingers, I mean, you're fucked.
No, I've got 50.
Oh my god.
I have to.
You want some?
Yes, it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
curse. Oh, literally, it's his blood.
Yeah, we were prepared.
They're not burgers. They're just dollar
Can I
store
have one of
sandwiches.
those?
But
No, you can't have one of them.
Oh my god.
Why not?
There you go.
I'm a doctor.
Let me go get him. I'll bring him over.
I don't think that gives you license to carry an AR.
It's a medical AR.
Okay.
It's not a medical AR.
It is.
I would have a shotgun, but we can't use them.
All right. So as far as order of question, all right. Let me go talk to Roy real quick.
False motion to dismiss just to intimidate. That's a way to,
Which
to
one?
motivate.
The one that I got dismissed?
You did.
He has milk. I don't know if he has milk.
I can't eat any more dry cereal. It's
Oh,
so
God.
dry. Captain Crunch is the worst. It just, like,
Oh
cuts
god,
the
that's gonna cut the fuck out of your mouth.
Yeah, the roof of your mouth. It just like
It's cut to shit. Yeah, that's gotta hurt, Billiam. Billiam, just give the milk.
Dr.
I
Temple,
can't. I'm waiting for my dad.
Yes.
do you mind if I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
All right. I know you got called here again, unfortunately, late after being attempted to be like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's I was not totally late, but
Yeah.
eating French fries and played Animal Crossing. And now I'm here. It's
Yeah.
fine. What's going on?
I'm guessing you would like to try and get back to that as fast as possible, right?
So much help.
Yeah, but you know, I'm always down for whatever you guys need. I'm here for you.
I do want to call
Yes,
you
my job.
last as a witness, but
Okay.
again, if you do want to get back to that, I don't mind calling you first.
No, it's you guys call me whenever you're ready. You know I'm here for you guys. Like I'm here to serve the city. So you call me when you need me. I'm just gonna keep munching on animal crackers back here until I'm called.
All right. And are you a psychiatrist or a therapist or both?
I'm a psychiatrist. So a therapist is something you can do without a license. I have a license to practice psychiatry, so I'm a psychiatrist.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, but in the roster you appear as a therapist.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
On the roster you appear as a therapist.
I appear as a
Roster's
ther- I
fucked
mean,
up, I
it's you know how like a rectangle's a square, but a square is
Oh,
not a
got it, got it.
rectangle. It's like a psychiatrist and a therapist. Like I can be a psychiatrist and a therapist, but a therapist isn't a psychiatrist.
That makes sense.
Do you want me to speak with Pixie? To fix that? Or with Joey?
No, I don't really mind. It's whatever, man. To me, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that I have a license to practice and I just practice. It really doesn't matter to me. You can call me a therapist. You can call me a psychiatrist. Dundee just had a case about how he called himself a therapist, and they decided he can legally call himself a therapist, and it's not practicing medicine without a license.
Got it.
Oh, look at that. I'm a doctor, a lawyer, and a therapist.
Oh shit, you're it all.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna try
Holy
and
shit.
quickly talk to Larry before the thing. Thank you, by the way, Dr. Temple.
You're welcome.
Well, first off,
I
you've
have
been
to talk to you
really
for
liberal
one
with the
second.
motions to dismiss when
Hang
you
on,
shouldn't
Solomon.
be,
I'll talk to you in a
honestly.
minute.
Like how you fucking ruined the Archie Price case for no fucking reason.
What is
Wow,
your,
sound a little upset there. Solomon?
because
what
it
is your
was a
plan for
bullshit
getting
dismissal of the fucking
therapy?
judge.
Then do it right
questions
next
in?
time. Say again?
What is your process for getting therapy questions in? Because I'm not sure how that
I
would
don't
be
know. I
breaking
kind of like it when they lay their whole argument out.
for Dr. Temple.
Just I'm going to request that we put into motion a federal rules of evidence, which I'll do first. And if that doesn't fly, then you just bring up about her job explicitly. You don't talk about what happened with her.
Okay, that's fine. I honestly
what
don't
happened
think
with
it's
the
hugely
chick, but-
important that we get any questions for his therapy. Her therapy.
From an expert.
I mostly just want Dr. Temple for the expert questions of like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring in federal rules of evidence, so if it works, it should open up the door for you to ask about her therapy.
All right.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, it's no.
Actually, I
no
impeached her, so I don't know if it would work. But we'll try it anyway.
Because
we'll
yeah, because Honey's testimony's thrown out. So.
Well, she's impeached regardless. She's never gonna be allowed to testify again. She's done.
True. Okay.
Just want to say it's the first one that's been done since arson.
That's
by the way.
what I thought. Okay.
By
I've never
the
seen
way.
any of the in any of the ones I've witnessed.
So Larry,
Impeachments
the
are
problem
very
is
hard to
that
get.
You throw motions to dismissal at everything, and then the judges wrongly grant them.
Wow.
They obviously aren't wrong because they're being granted.
Nope. Did you not see what happened with the appeal?
Which one? The Archie Price one?
Yeah, where the judge said yes, this
Alright,
was a
who's in chat
wrongly
now?
granted motion to
Hi, Joey.
dismissal or summary judgment.
He's been in chat.
Yeah, I mean that's the judge's fault, not mine. He should have denied it.
I
then.
mean, you're filing appeals that are getting fucking scheduling for everything messed up. So yeah, it sort of
Solomon,
is
if you're
because
really that upset about this, then maybe you shouldn't be a lawyer.
I mean, if you look, you're saying that fucking yelling at people is demotivating. You know what's more demotivating than any of that is having somebody fucking object to motion to dismiss to everything, knowing that sometimes the judges are probably going to get it wrong.
And then it sounds like I won that case and I got it dismissed. I mean, if that's the case, repost it and do your job as a lawyer.
That's literally what I did moments
Then
after.
good. I'm
and
happy
had a
you did
judge
it.
Who fucking
That's
went
good.
over his bounds to do it. So if
I already
you're
have somebody
encouraging
else coming in
illegal
and doing it.
activity and not justice, you shouldn't be the DA.
Well, I don't see you doing anything like in your job correctly. I just had your entire testimony impeached because your own client lied on the stand. Did you
Hey,
even
I
prep
can't
your
control
witnesses?
with a lie. I told them to tell the truth, and that's what I told them.
Did you prep them? Did you know what they were going to
I
say?
did.
So you knew she was going to talk about bunnies,
Yeah, and the fact that they.
but you still let her go up on the stand.
Are you having a problem with bunnies?
I'm having a problem that you openly knew that your client lied and that you're still willing to put her on the
That's
stand.
not a lie. I don't know. I can't just assume that somebody is lying because there's a lot of assumptions you seem to be making that are being upheld, but they're wrong. I mean, if you want to play the judge game and not the justice game, that's fine, but just don't be the DA and do it, you know?
I mean, if I'm doing my job correctly, it's not my fault. It's up to the judges if they want to do their job correctly. I can't help you.
Yeah, but if you're exploiting
If
the
you're
fact
going to
that some
push blame, then
aren't-
push it onto the right people and not blame whoever's in front of you.
I
I.e.
mean, if you're
Fox,
trying
me,
to
whoever you're
exploit
upset
the way
at in the
system
moment.
Is using fucking knowledge about judges and know that, okay, maybe this guy will go over his reach, talk to some officers about it when he really shouldn't.
Hey, guess what?
Solomon,
Picking
do you
your
just-
judges is exactly what you're supposed to do as a lawyer. You're supposed to learn that like months ago. I've been doing that for years.
So
You
that's
just
not
really
justice
hate it
you're
when
talking
anyone
about.
else is competent at their job, Solomon? Is that the
No,
issue?
what I hate is when people force wrongful judgments. And, that's what Larry has been doing. He fishes out for wrongful judgments, and then he boasts when he gets them.
And you know what? I don't.
I
like
haven't
people
boasted
getting
one time
off
until you
the
started
hook for
complaining about it.
technicalities, and you do that all day. So I guess we're at a standstill there.
You're not even a part of this conversation, sir, so...
I'm stuck standing here
He's
listening
sort of
to
stuck
it
in the
and
middle,
on
yeah.
the receiving end of
Well-
your foul breath, Solomon. So yes, I'm
you
part
could
of this
probably
conversation.
just move away, No one's keeping
Or
you
you
here.
could go back to your side of the courtroom, Solomon. I'm not
I am
budging.
literally in my side of the courtroom.
No, yeah, that's not. But yeah, I can. The other baby lawyer is the next one to Larry.
If you want to take out a fucking measurement stick, you can go.
Wait, what the fuck is that?
I don't need one with you.
Yeah, I would guess not. Yeah, Larry, just don't push bullshit motions, and that's something that's demotivated a lot of lawyers in the past. I have to put up with it, and note that it's only the DA's office that does it, really. DA's office in Crane.
To be fair, I will say it's just the same version as doing bullshit objections. which happens all the
No,
time
it
by every
really
lawyer.
no bullshit objections do not have the chance to get an entire case thrown out if the judge makes a wrongful thing. Do you take a look at the fucking Archie Price case, and you'll see what could happen to your cases. It's a case that was scheduled, it had been delayed due to some stuff we have out of our control. It's finally scheduled, and then 2 days after, the judge accepts it because he was talking to officers, and officers lied to him or some shit like that. I don't really know the full scenario, but he was talking to officers and got
Oh
a
my god,
motion
I'm so
for
tired of this
summary
conversation.
judgment. What? That's what happened, Larry.
I get it, but you've been saying the same thing over and over. You've been doing circles for the past 10 minutes, and I'm getting tired of hearing it. If you don't like what a judge did, go complain to the judges. Don't complain to me. I can't help
when
you.
you're the one promoting such behavior, it's sort of on you.
How am I
too.
promoting? They're above me. How am I promoting them? I can't
Because
control
when
what they
you're
fucking do.
making a motion for summary judgment when it obviously shouldn't be approved.
Not my problem.
Making lawful objections is your problem. You should work by the law, not work by the W, you know?
If you're that upset, make a complaint.
Ethics.
Yeah,
That'll be enough of that. I'm having to deal with this crap outside of here.
Yeah.
Do not make me deal with it in here too, or you will not like how I deal with it. Do I make myself clear?
Daisy!
What?
Did you say
I
that?
better get a yes, sir, out of some of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I didn't do anything.
That's what they all say.
Defense, are you prepared to present your case?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Very good. Go ahead.
The defense would like to call up Officer Fox onto the stand.
Officer Fox, please return to the stand. I remind you, sir, that you are under oath.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Officer Fox, are officers involved in the 5150 process?
Typically speaking, yes, although a 5150 can be issued without an officer.
Okay. Is it your job as an officer to determine if someone is a danger to themselves or others?
That is
leading.
the...
Sustained. You can go ahead and rephrase that, young man.
Okay. Normally, when you go through the process as a 5150, is it your job to determine if someone is acting in a dangerous way to themselves?
I'm sorry. Can you rephrase the question? If I'm determining if they are a danger to themselves?
Yep.
I mean, typically it'd be the psychiatrist who makes the end decision there, but if I see red flags of, abnormal behavior or signs of some sort of mental distress, then yes, I would call to have them evaluated. It's not done frequently, but yes.
Okay. Did you attempt to get Mrs. Honeyquick a lawyer or a psychiatrist after sending her in?
I did. I attempted to contact both a lawyer and a psychologist or a psychiatrist for her. Neither were available at the time. So I instead got a hold of the Department of Corrections ranking officer at the time, which was Daisy Dukaki, and I asked her to keep an eye out, and as soon as a lawyer or a psychologist became available, to get the lady some help. My understanding is that later she contacted Solomon, but I was busy at a shootout
Objection
up in
narrative.
I'm going to sustain at this time. Officer Fox, I ask you to please keep your sentences to your answers to one or two quick sentences, and your attorney will elucidate more information for you if necessary.
Very well.
Thank you.
Should I start over?
No, it's just one of those things where I'm now just reminding you, all right? It seems
Right.
kind of silly for me to strike it and then go through the questions.
Okay, Mr. Fox, do you have to have a psychologist or a therapist to determine a 5150?
No, the point of the 5150 is to wait until the psychologist or psychiatrist is available to evaluate them.
Okay, what all did you go through to try and get Mrs. Honeyquick help?
What steps did I take to try and get her help?
Yep.
I went through the trouble of looking for a lawyer. There were none available. Look for a medical professional. There were none available. Asked the EMS on scene if there were any available. They indicated that there were none. And then I went out of my way to get a hold of Department of Corrections and asked them to look out for said individuals.
Okay. What injuries did you witness on Mrs. Honeyquick?
Objection asked and answered.
New line of questioning.
Do you have a rebuttal?
Yes,
ahead and
I
try.
believe the evidence was just presented by Larry Hollow regarding this, so we haven't asked this question.
Overruled. Witness will answer.
The only injury that I observed during the initial examination was a deep cut in her right hand.
Okay, did either Miss Quick or EMS indicate any other sort of injury?
No.
Okay, and lastly, did you call Miss Quick crazy at any point?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross.
Do you know the medical symptoms of a concussion?
Objection,
say that I do.
speculation.
Objection, opinion, not expert.
My rebuttal would be I'm asking if he knows the medical symptoms. That is not an expert opinion. No, symptoms of concussion can be widely known.
Of a layperson. It's opinion of a layperson. Rebut. It's opinion of a layperson.
Will answer.
Oh my god.
Can't say that I would be able to fully diagnose one, no.
All right. Did you see Miss Quick acting at all woozy?
Objection,
Not-
ask and answer.
My rebuttal would be I'm asking for clarification on further things. It is not something that he asked in particular, and he's saying that he would not be able to diagnose it. I'm asking for specific symptoms.
Overruled. Witness will answer.
I would not define her as woozy, no.
What would you define her as?
I would define her as, let's see, panicked. See, this is the issue. I don't really know exactly how to define it. I would need a medical professional to examine it. There was something wrong, something very clearly wrong with her mental state, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
Couldn't put your finger on it. All right. And did you notice any disorientation about her?
Physically speaking, no, but the fact that I would introduce myself to her, and then 5 seconds later, she would ask me again my name, and we repeated this process over and over, there must have been something going on there.
Okay. And
say
did
for
you
questioning
notice
the
any
psychologist or
disjointment
psychiatrist.
in conversation?
She was speaking to me in like squirrel growling noises. Sir, does that count as a disjointment?
I'm asking you, sir. You're the one answering the questions here.
I don't know how to answer that question.
All right, you don't know.
Could you define disjointment in the conversation?
I was asking you again, but that's fine. No further questions.
And we have no redirect.
All right, officer, you may step down. Thank you very much. Mind the glass, sir.
Let me out
One
of
of
here.
these days, I'm going to get that damn glass removed. One of these days.
you.
But
I mean,
not
give me
today.
a crowbar in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
But it is not this day.
The
Not this
defense
day.
would like to call up Deputy William Williams.
Deputy Williams, please come forward. Be sworn in.
Okay.
Plaintiff would like to request, what is he being called as for a witness, an expert witness,
He's being called up as an eyewitness.
eyewitness?
Deputy, raise your hand.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna get both of them. All right. Do you swear affirm the story about tell the taste truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you, Travis Tribble?
Yes, sir.
You are sworn to the goddamn sheriff. Do you know what he did to the last person that was caught saying mistruths in my courtroom?
Did he axe him?
He did.
Good guess.
He grabbed up Apples,
Thanks for the
took
follow.
him out back, and he made a sacrifice to the blood god.
Wait, Apples is dead?
No,
He's died
Damn
a
it.
few times.
he's only mostly dead. He got better. It was just a flesh wound.
He owes me money. That's good. I'm glad he's okay.
Anyhow, just be aware that you have just sworn on your boss that you will tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
And I have Sheriff Tribble's number on speed dial. And he picks up my calls.
Oh, he doesn't pick up my calls.
He doesn't, but he picks up mine. That's how important I am. So don't lie in my courtroom.
Yes, sir.
All right.
How are you doing, Deputy William?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Not bad. Were you on duty the day of the incident referred to in the suit, Sunday, May 24th, 2020?
Yes, sir, I was.
Did you respond to a house burglary call or calls in the Vinewoods area that day alongside Officer Fox?
Yes, sir. I responded after Officer Fox did.
When you arrived, what did you find?
So I joined in right around when the chase ended, when Miss Quickk crashed her bike into a wall, I believe.
And how would you describe the way Miss Quickk was acting when you and Officer Fox detained her?
Objection, speculation.
I'm asking for how he would describe it, not what his medical state was.
True, but at the same time, this is a layperson who I'm sustaining it at this time. Rephrase your question to be more generalized, something that a layperson could actually answer.
Sure. How did you observe Miss Quickk acting?
She wasn't really answering any of the questions Officer Fox was posing, and she made a lot of animal noises at us.
Was she just being silent in response to those questions?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. Witness will answer.
She wasn't being completely silent. She was kind of mumbling things, and then she would meow occasionally.
Got it. To your knowledge, was Miss Quickk read her Miranda rights?
Yes, she was.
And what was her response to being read her Miranda rights?
Meow.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is that video recording?
Is that a direct quote?
That's my best impression
Paraphrase,
of
maybe.
All right.
what I believe the answer was.
To your knowledge, did Miss Quickk choose to invoke her right to counsel?
I believe she asked for a lawyer before she was transported to the hospital.
All right, and to your knowledge as well, did Officer Fox continue to interrogate her about the house robberies after she did that?
I believe I was in a separate car, so they left at that time. She was, yeah, I don't. I'm not aware of their interaction after that point.
Were you concerned for Miss Quick's welfare at all, based on how you observed her?
I mean, she wasn't really answering any of our questions or formulating full sentences, and mostly making noises and meowing at us. It did seem strange to me at the time, but I didn't think that she was a danger to anyone. I mean, she was in handcuffs, so I didn't think she had a clear and present danger to anyone.
All right. Is a 5150? What is a 5150? In your knowledge?
I believe it's we need a psychiatric hold or evaluation on someone because they might hurt someone or themselves.
All right. No further questions.
Cross?
No cross for this witness. Actually, no, sorry, I do have one.
Okay.
All right. Before Miss Quickk was handcuffed, did you ever see her perform any form of self-harm?
She seemed pretty injured. She had just crashed her vehicle. I think she was kind of she didn't look too hot. But I didn't see her injure herself or attempt to.
All right. Thank you. No more further questions from Cross.
All right. Redirect.
Yes, Your Honor. With a 5150 being including self-harm, does that count accidental self-harm, or is that only intentional?
Objection. He's a layperson.
He's an officer who we already established has to deal with 5150s, and that is well within his expert.
Okay, can I answer this question?
Give me a second.
Sure.
You know what, Solomon? It's a statute that he should be familiar with, as it is something he has to exercise. So I'm gonna overrule you. All right?
Very well.
Yes.
That was actually a tough one.
I believe it's just self-harm in any capacity. If they're in a mental state where they could harm themselves or others, I don't think the intentional part comes into play. You know, they might not be aware of what they're doing because of their mental state, but if they could harm someone because of it, that would be a reason for a 5150.
All right, no further questions. Thank you.
All right, deputy, you can step down.
All right, yes, sir.
Who's your next witness before you call it?
Dr. Temple.
There you go. All right.
Your Honor, I have a question before they call up Dr. Temple, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
How do you feel about federal rules of evidence?
They exist.
Okay, do you mind if I call one out real quick so that you're aware of it? Federal Rule of Evidence 803, subsection 4. I can link you to it if you want me to.
Which one is it?
It's an exception to hearsay. It's regarding medical records and medical treatments. Basically, again, I don't know if this is going to work because the witness was impeached, but basically this gives the right, this is one of the two ways to get somebody the ability to speak on treatments or appointments from a medical standpoint if it's pertinent to the case. At the same time, the other stance is to a judge can court order it to be allowed as well.
Read it.
Okay, 1 second.
I don't actually think
Rule
this is
803 of
applicable,
hearsay exception subsection 4 states statements for purposes of medical diagnosis or treatment. This is an exception to the hearsay rule. Statements made for purposes of medical diagnosis or treatment in describing medical history or past or present symptoms, pain or sensations, or the inception or general character of the cause or external source thereof, insofar as reasonably pertinent to diagnosis or treatment.
Okay. Yep. So that. Yeah. No. I got it. Yeah. Medical diagnosis is admissible, assuming that it meets all criteria to be admitted and does not violate any type of privacy act.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Correct, and that is why I would like to go on to request a court order for Ms. Temple to be able to openly testify to the areas of the case.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that we believe that it is pertinent to the case, as well as to prove that there was indeed some kind of mental capacity that Miss Quickk was not making, which led to her 5150.
My rebuttal to that would be that we cannot speak to her mental state at the time, as she did, in fact, see this therapist later. They would be speaking exclusively about her mental state at a later point than when this 5150 occurred. Therefore, it should be disqualified. Furthermore, our witness can not be testifying at this moment, but she would not want her mental record put on the stand so blatantly. And this is not pertinent to either diagnosis or whatever the other one was.
Come here, Raw. Everybody else, stay back.
I'm very curious. I don't
think I did good. I think
so too.
He's probably going to deny it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm just glad that he recognized it's federal rules evidence. So
he already let you impeach the plaintiff.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna give you another one.
I don't know. I put up a pretty tough fight for that one. He's I'm
This one's
3 for 0 right now.
That one.
Well, the hearsay exception allows for this to happen, and that's why I'm asking for a court order based on the hearsay exception.
I feel like the hearsay exception doesn't necessarily break HIPAA though.
It doesn't. That's why I brought it up.
Broken. Yeah, already. I got it.
Not necessarily. It says that if it's pertinent to the treatment or diagnosis, then they can talk about it all they want. But they have to have. But that's why I'm requesting a court order just to be safe.
Got it.
Solomon did bring up a good point about the she was talked to after, but in all honesty, if she's showing signs afterwards, then that would.
I intend to ask a question to actually point out the difference between a therapy session and a high stress situation. Alrighty, so.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the results of this part of the questioning don't even matter all that much, do they? Like whether she was,
This is more of to prove a point. In all honesty.
Yeah, because whether she was or was not, like, actually under some sort of mental instability, the question is, did we follow procedure correctly, and was any malice demonstrated?
I'm going to deny your
Okie dokie.
application on the grounds that the doctor's discussion was not pertinent to that particular moment in time and was more of a generalized meeting.
All right, just glad I got federal rules of evidence out there.
Yeah.
All good.
All right, Your Honor. The defense would like to call out Dr. Royal Temple at this time.
All right. On what grounds?
As an expert witness in the field of psychiatry.
Very good. The court will recognize Dr. Royal Anderson as an expert witness in the field of psychiatry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Figure out if she works for Pillbox for me too.
Do you swear affirm the testimony about to give before the court today's truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you, Hippocrates?
So help me, Hippocrates?
Yeah, that's right. I am swearing you to the Greek god of medicine.
Oh yeah. I mean, heck yeah. Sorry, court.
Whoa.
No swearing in court.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Go ahead, ask your questions.
All right. How are you, Dr. Royal Temple?
I'm good, but nervous. You?
Okay. Yeah, a bit of the same. Would you prefer me to call you Dr. Royal, Dr. Temple, or a full name?
I do prefer my married name of Dr. Temple, but if it's easier for the court, since my legal name is still Anderson, if you want to call me Dr. Anderson, I really don't care.
Judge, do you have any opposition to calling her Dr. Temple?
I don't care if you call her Queen Elizabeth.
All right.
Get on with it.
Alright, call me Queen Elizabeth.
Dr. Temple, is there any sort of area of psychiatry that you specialize in?
Objection lacks foundation.
Burr? It's a foundational question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
we don't know
already
if
established.
She is a psychologist yet.
I just said the court recognizes the fact that she's a doctor and an expert witness, Solomon.
He said psychology, not psychiatry.
Actually.
Yes, sir.
Got you there.
I'll reword it.
Got you there.
Yeah, those are not interchangeable terms. Good catch, Solomon. You know,
don't worry, always on this
you
ball.
earned +1 hobo points for that.
Hell yeah.
Dr. Temple, is there any sort of area of psychiatry that you specialize in?
Yes, I specialize in couples and sex.
Okay.
Oh.
Could I ask you to pull up Exhibit A, police report in 22899? And
Yes.
specifically, I'd like to direct you to the 5 lines following behavior noted by the officer included, which
Okay,
is
give
the
me a
same.
quick second here.
Yeah. Should be at the bottom of page 1.
Okay, yes. Behavior noted? Is that where we're starting?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay. If you had a client who was showing signs of aggressive short-term memory loss, what types of conditions would you initially screen them for?
Aggressive short-term memory loss? I'd first ask them what they did with their day to find out if it's a persistent issue or if it's something that just happened that day.
Okay. Yeah. And if they were doing, sorry, let me read this. Would repeatedly forgetting the name of someone introduced to you within a short time span be a sign of this, or no?
It would definitely be.
Leading.
I can rephrase the question.
Rephrase it. Sustain.
What kinds of things would be a sign of short-term memory loss?
Short-term memory loss. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's basically just forgetting things right after they're told to you, forgetting things 5 minutes. It'd be an hour or less is what I would call forgetting would be short-term memory loss.
All right, and if a client seemed to be showing signs of short-term memory loss, what possible conditions could that be a sign of?
Possible conditions, it could be schizophrenia, PTSD, dementia, Alzheimer's. Memory loss is not a uncommon issue with people who have dealt with trauma in many forms. It could be basically a list of 50 things.
Got it. If you had a client who's showing signs of elevated paranoia, what kind of conditions would you screen them for?
Elevated paranoia, I would try and look more into PTSD, schizophrenia, get into a little bit of that area. Usually paranoia is born out of an incident, and I try and find that incident.
Got it. And what are the dangers of schizophrenia if left untreated?
Depends on the severity. There's some people who have schizophrenia and never truly realize it because all they have is auditory hallucinations and they think everybody does. There's some people who rip open their own skin because they think there's bugs from the government inside of them. It really depends on the severity of the case. It's all over.
Got it. And do you believe a officer of the law would be qualified to determine what the severity of a schizophrenia case was?
Schizophrenia in particular? Do I think an everyday officer could say this person clearly has schizophrenia and this is clearly the severity of it?
Yeah.
I think they can... No, I don't believe the average officer could clearly identify that somebody has schizophrenia.
So, in your opinion, a officer would require a psychiatrist or a psychologist to
Objection,
evaluate?
counsel is testifying.
I'm just seeking to clarify, Your Honor.
Finish your question. You're gonna be overruled, Solomon.
Sorry. So in your opinion, a officer would require someone who is specialized in the field of psychiatry or psychology in order to diagnose such, as well as diagnose the severity.
Objection, leading.
Overruled. Witness will answer.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, there's so many objections. I'm a
you're
little
good.
confused
I
here.
understand. In your opinion, a officer would require someone specializing in the field of psychiatry or psychology to diagnose the severity and condition of schizophrenia.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. In your short-term memory loss answer, you brought up dementia. What are the dangers of dementia if left untreated?
Well, dementia is kind of an umbrella term as it's something that has been more recent. It's basically when you have two disconnects in two areas of the brain. So it can be a disconnect between social cues and memory. It can be a disconnect between memory and recognizing like when you're hungry and stuff like that. If untreated, depending on the case, it could be very fatal. People could forget that they're in the middle of driving and they could forget that they're in the middle of like they'll wake up and be very confused, and that can be dangerous.
All right. Were you here to hear Officer Fox's description of how Miss Quickk was acting in his presence?
Yes, I was in fact here. I was eating animal crackers.
Oh, that sounds good. In your expert opinion, was it reasonable for Officer Fox to be concerned for the welfare of Miss Honeyquick?
From what Officer Fox said, I would say concern was necessary.
All right, no further questions, Your Honor.
Solomon?
That was a good job.
Starting off from where he left off, from what Officer Fox said, would you believe that a 5150 is necessary?
Oh, I am not actually able to 5150 people, nor is that part of my job, so I don't know if you exactly want me answering that.
Yeah, I would say objection opinion of a layperson if he tries to ask that.
Yeah, I cannot 5150 people. Only officers can, or judges.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
We'll leave that answer in as is. All right, Solomon?
Gotcha. Yep. When you said that there was right for concern, could you expand upon that? Why do you think there was a right to be concerned?
Well, in Officer Fox's description, for what I can recall, is that he said that what he observed was her making animal noises and just possibly not answering and forgetting. I think if anyone was making animal noises and forgetting, I'd be concerned.
All right. What would you be concerned about?
I would be concerned, obviously, why they're doing it. I'd try and find out, is it something that's been a persistent case that they do often, or is it something that just happened that day for some reason?
All right, and would that be would that concern extend to an immediate concern of them harming themselves or others?
I'm curious.
Do I think she was in? I think she definitely needed somebody there to help her.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, but do you feel that she was an immediate threat to herself or others, just based off of Officer Fox's testimony?
To be clear, in Officer Fox's testimony, did he mention her saying she wanted to harm herself with a lockpick, or did he not?
No, that was never mentioned in Officer Fox's testimony.
Then no.
All right. No further questions at this point.
Can I have 1 second, Your Honor? Hey, come back.
What's up?
Ask her, now, because she asked, like, did Fox say anything about her wanting to hurt herself? Bring up that Fox did say that she did, you said that she did hurt herself with a lockpick, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she
her-
also banged
her
her
hand
head
was-
Yeah, and she was banging her head on the door of
Yeah.
or the glass of the car. So bring that up and see if she would change her mind.
You-
Because
right,
she's basing her,
there's-
she's tasting her.
I think there's a better
she's-
approach. I think there's a better approach.
I mean,
Let me try it.
the primary concern was that if she was like either paranoid or delusional, believed herself to be an animal or whatever, and was so like
Right,
she believed that
accidental
so seriously that she was willing to flee from police high speed on a vehicle. The concern from me
Yep.
was more so that like she was going to panic and flee and crash into somebody
That's what I was
again,
going to ask about. Yep.
less so than the lockpick that she jammed into her hand.
All right, go ahead.
Dr. Temple, with patients with extreme paranoia, can they injure themselves trying to escape a perceived danger?
Yes.
Do you believe that Officer Fox would be fully qualified to diagnose the same way that you did based off of all of the things that he was observing?
To be clear, diagnose.
Like
that
diagnose
she
a
would
specific
need
condition.
help. Do I think Officer Fox could diagnose a specific psychological condition?
Yes.
Objection, speculation.
Yeah, you know what? I'll withdraw the question. That's actually it. All right, thank you, Yana. And thank you, Doctor.
1 second, Your Honor, before we go on to redirect. Are you not going to ask about the whole like headbanging thing?
Yeah, I mentioned
I have no
Just 1 second.
understanding.
The
Ask her.
headbanging thing happened.
Oh,
as
we're on
we were
redirect. I'm
leaving.
sorry. Ignore me. Sorry, ignore me.
The
Just 1
headbanging
second.
thing happened after the 5150 had already been approved anyway, but you can still bring it up, I guess.
Yeah, bring it up and be
All
like,
right,
does this
fair
change? Does this change your mind about what
Well,
you do?
it was just one smack on the car, the same way every suspect that thinks they're funny does. Ow, my head! Why'd you run my head into the car?
Okay,
Never
that's not
mind,
worth
don't
asking
ask.
over. Yeah.
Why didn't you say that before?
Yeah, you never
You
mentioned
didn't
that.
ask.
All right, Your Honor. Yeah, we're.
Are you
done with
serious?
Questions.
Oh, fantastic.
Did you just use the "you didn't ask" line?
This is the first
you
time
did.
it came up.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You just said you did.
Hey,
Oh
look
my
at that.
god!
She got by
You really
there
just
without
used
hitting
that
the
line.
glass. It can, in fact, be done.
I watched enough court cases to know.
All right, Your Honor. The defense rests.
Very good. Court is in recess 5 minutes. Prepare your closing statements.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I feel like this whole time they've been arguing over whether or not my summary of the 5150 was correct, but I also feel like that's largely irrelevant. The question is, did I follow procedure? Did I demonstrate any malice? And like that has not even really even come up, other than Solomon trying to get me with a "how did that make you
He
feel"
brought it up.
question at the
He brought it
start.
up in the opening and then proceeded to never bring it up, other than through Quickk, who got thrown out. So.
Yeah, we actually
Right.
have shown that you have been concerned the whole time, so.
I'm gonna be in my head.
Yeah, if anything, I would argue that our evidence so far shows the opposite. That I went out of my way to try and get help for her, and even
I
passed
fully
her off
agree.
to somebody else. So have fun proving malice, Solomon. That, and as far as procedure is concerned, I did everything by the book. So like all these other, like I'd say the entire past 30 minutes of this court case have just been superfluous fluff that don't affect the outcome.
Oh, I think that last testimony was huge, but.
I mean, that last testimony is helpful, but even if she didn't say all that,
Yeah.
Like, assuming
It's
we
just a
didn't have any of that to
confirmation
go
thing.
on, did I violate procedure? Did I
Right.
demonstrate any malice? No. End of story. So, what did you guys have for lunch?
Chicken pitas.
I don't eat.
It's like 11 p.m. for
My
me.
dinner
nice.
3 hours ago was fried rice, and I only ate like a quarter of it, so I'm a little hungry.
What did you have for lunch, Fox?
Oh, what did I have? I had Panda Express.
Ooh, you did.
Yeah, grilled teriyaki chicken.
Nice.
Delicious. I was not expecting this case to go 2 hours.
I wasn't either.
But then again, I guess I should expect everything that involves Solomon to go 2 hours.
Yeah, not wrong.
Unless it involves his hygiene.
True. This just has me thinking, what if Nettie's case is gonna be like this?
Wait, what did Nutty do?
Simply hold on an individual
Who's Nutty?
until such a time that a qualified psychiatrist can speak with the individual
Oh,
based
shit,
on the
what'd she do?
observations of the officer dealing with the
Did
individual.
she rob a
I
house
think it's
too?
like, no, a therapist put her in Parsons and like made her think that he was leaving her there.
Oh
That makes
shit.
sense.
No, yeah, I know about
So, does she make cat noises now?
No, it's just Nettie. She's always been a little different.
All right, everybody, gather round. Gather round. I'm gonna call this back into order. Court will hear closing arguments at this time. Plaintiff.
Nervous,
Alright.
but we'll see.
Your Honor, what we have heard today is a tale of a woman who has been mistreated by the police who made vague assumptions based on their predisposed
I knew you had an
and
objection here.
pre-rendered opinions on what is normal. In the very what we have is a woman who is 5150, not for any true threat to herself or other, for simply on the basis of she got in a car crash and she acted weird. So, you know, that we have officers who are undertrained and were put off by the fact that her disposition might be different from mine or yours. And with that, decided to throw her in prison for who knows how long. You know, just throw her in there, let someone else deal with her. Yeah, we had
She was
crimes
given the option of going to
committed.
Parsons or prison.
And
She
yet,
chose prison.
yeah, she was charged with those crimes. She was going to prison anyway. And yet, we decided that the best thing to do, the best course of action, was to put her there indefinitely until she got seen by either a psychiatrist or a lawyer had to yell at enough people that she got let out. The only evidence that we have that might even slightly indicate some type of self-harm or self-harm is in the report, in which it states that she banged her head against the wall intentionally and blamed an officer. First off, we have to say that this was not mentioned in Mr. Fogg by Officer Fox until after he was prompted, and it did not happen before the decision was made for her to be 5150, therefore it can be excluded. This was an event that supposedly happened afterwards and is purely speculative.
I'm only
as
allowed to
to
speak when
her
prompted. What kind of
intentions,
idiocy
or if
is
it
that?
even happened at all. So, with that left, we have from the report her talking to herself, acting as though she had never met the officer, responded to questions and statements with animal noises, and repeatedly asked for Betty. Oh, so basically, she did not answer the questions like the officer wanted. That is what we have before us today, and that is
I don't know
why.
what he's on about. She operated a
Please
high
be
speed.
quiet. Yes. What? The only other evidence that they could possibly present was being in a car crash, but if that was 5150able, I believe that over half the city would have been 5150 now. An officer used the discrepancies granted to him by the law to punish those being different from themselves in an act of blatant discrimination. They unlawfully imprisoned my client, who had displayed no signs of being a danger to herself or others, and from there, that is where we are requesting our relief. This is not a blatant cash grab. This is a individual looking to seek relief for the unlawful, unnecessary, and just very blatantly unhumane treatment that she endured. An officer's harassment resulted in the pushing of a jail time in excess of 300 months.
Can we
And,
object
from that, we
to his
can
closing?
see that it is a blatant violation of her rights and something that should be made right through some reparations, and the officers involved should be disciplined. Thank you.
All right, let me hear it, defense.
All right. Your Honor, as has been demonstrated through testimony today, this suit has been nothing more than an attempt to take advantage of an upstanding officer conducting his duties admirably and properly. The plaintiff, Miss Quickk, wanted a quick cash grab, and so this farce of a suit was filed. Throughout testimony today, we've heard that Miss Quick's civil rights were not violated, as she alleges, and that, in fact, Officer Fox was very respectful of her rights. Additionally, Officer Fox was first and foremost concerned for Miss Quick's well-being based on how she was acting at the time. He ensured that she got the medical treatment that she seemed to need, both physically by calling EMS for her after a crash when attempting to irrationally flee the scene, as well as mentally by ensuring that she was properly looked at by a licensed psychiatrist before she could do any more harm to herself than she'd already done. We've heard testimony from multiple experts within their appropriate fields that Officer Fox was fully valid in his concerns for Miss Quick's well-being based on what he observed, and that choosing to hold her for a psychiatric evaluation was in fact a very reasonable thing to do in this situation.
Objection, misstatement of testimony.
Your Honor, both the psychiatrist as well as Officer Williams expressed that there was a reasonable reason for concern based off of what Officer Fox observed.
Continue.
Well, there was not a saying any Dr. Temple did not say that it was reasonable to hold her for that, which is what is he currently stating and what he am objecting to.
All right, it's sustained. Continue.
All right. Mr. Cedarson claimed that Officer Fox acted maliciously in his opening, but we've more than proved that Officer Fox actually went out of his way to help Miss Quick, even after getting a 5150 approved for her. We even heard testimony from expert psychiatrists listing off several possible severe mental conditions that matched one or more symptoms that Officer Fox directly observed. We've also heard testimony from multiple eyewitnesses directly contradicting Miss Quick's claims of having her civil rights violated. Finally, as demonstrated through testimony, a 5150 is not a full psychiatric evaluation of an individual by an officer. It is simply a hold on an individual until such a time that a qualified psychiatrist can speak with the individual based on the observations of the officer dealing with the individual. All in all, this suit has been one of frivolity. It's a shame that this has been levied against such a well-respected and honest officer of the law like Officer Fox. I ask that the court find these allegations of Miss Honey Quick's just as ridiculous as I do and rewards her nothing. Thank you.
All right, court's in recess while I conduct deliberations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I will make an announcement before I'm ready to render my verdict.
Alright, I'm gonna go daydream for a second.
Alright. He was right in his objection. I actually wanted to sneak it past him, but by the way, Solomon, I wanted to say I respect your objection during my closing. I admittedly was trying to sneak that little bit past him.
No, nothing gets past Solomon.
Yeah, that was good. Also, by the way, Dr. Temple, respect for your vast knowledge on the subject.
Thanks. It's hard to be, it's a difficult subject and there's so many factors. I'm like, I know you want a clear answer, but like I can't.
Yeah, trust me. I tried to clarify as best as I could when.
I know, but it's like if I don't have 100% of the facts, I can't clearly and definitely say like it's a
difficult subject. That's why I basically had to sort of speak in hypotheticals.
I know it's frustrating.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you. Well, yeah.
Thank you for your time, and sorry again for that you had to sort of stay the whole time.
It's okay. It's alright. I'm invested now. I'll sleep 2 hours and I'll be up again. It'll be great. Let's go.
Jesus.
I got a Red Bull in the fridge. Let's go.
Hopefully you get at least a little sleep then.
Hopefully.
Alright, how do you feel, officer?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
Like we're only here because of Solomon's ego and he's wasting my time?
I meant on your chances. Based off of our performance today.
I feel like you could have been more aggressive.
That's fair. I'm not a very aggressive individual usually, so.
Solomon gets up there and just lies constantly, calls it harassment, calls it all this other stuff, and I feel like you need to directly challenge that.
That's fair. I'm sort of.
I don't know if you know or care, but you are in fact shouting. I don't know if you know, I don't know if you don't care, but I just want to let you know. Fox is. In fact, you and Fox are both shouting. I mean, if you want to shout, you shout. I don't care. I'm just letting you know.
I'll cycle through again, but
That's interesting
Yeah.
because I'm most definitely not.
I could I could hear you all the way from that
Alright,
wall
let me
over
test
there,
the
and
field.
usually I can't hear anyone.
Right. Well,
can you
I
hear
mean,
me?
frankly, I don't care if the entire city hears what I'm saying at the moment.
Did you hear?
That's what I figured. No,
okay.
I didn't hear you.
All right,
Oh,
good.
yeah, sorry, just looking at some stuff.
But I thought I'd let you know anyways, just in case.
Got it.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Anytime. Return to your conversation, gentlemen.
Thanks. I'm a very different type of lawyer than Searson. Searson is like very up in your face. I sort of just try and win with facts. I don't know.
Right.
It's
Based-
so my specialty I would say is expert witnesses, which I'm gonna try and utilize as best as I can.
Right. So, I'm not a lawyer, to take it with a grain of salt, but the aggressive in-your-face lawyers
I
in the
know.
city are the ones that win.
I know, and I'm sure I'll probably have to get better about that.
Foxy's
And you can,
he's fine.
you can still be fact-based, objective, and use expert witnesses while also being aggressive.
That's fair.
Jeez, it's like he's
Maybe
never
I have to get
fucking
over my
seen
nerves.
Crane.
I don't know what he said. It's fine.
I don't know. I wonder if I'm still shouting.
Maybe.
Probably.
Probably don't want to shout. Probably just want to talk normally, so that way the judge doesn't hear.
No, I mean, no. I'm speaking normally.
Okay, got it.
But the doc said she could hear me way over there.
Normally,
Yeah.
they can hear you on the other side of the room.
Yeah. Insides are
Oh,
strange.
interesting.
Also,
Yeah,
thanks,
the
Cherish, by the way.
Is Williams sleeping over there?
I think so.
I think he went to sleep on the bench in the back.
Oh, I should tell him he can leave. Hey, William.
Hey, how's it going?
You know, if you're tired, you can leave, right?
Oh no, I'm not tired. I'm
Okay.
just trying to like use my concentration brain and figure out how this court case is gonna go.
Ah, got it. I just
It's
want to
like,
make sure
it
you
could-
weren't like forcing yourself to stay awake for the.
Oh no, it could go. I'm pretty awake. I drank a shitload of coffee before I got in this court case, so I'm pretty fucking amped right now.
All right.
That's not healthy at all.
But neither is living. Every person that lives dies. You know that.
That's
Okay.
technically true.
Talk to me about health.
Technically, oxygen it's a toxin that kills
Yeah.
us very slowly.
Yeah, water too.
Yeah.
But I'm addicted to drinking water. I can't stop.
Yeah.
Fuck, here I
don't
go
know.
again.
I just drink milk instead of water.
Water's bad
Really?
for you.
Wait, is it?
Water,
Water
is just
poisoning.
sand.
It's
Wait,
true.
it's sand.
Does it
Dihydrogen
have
monoxide.
mercury in it?
Wait, H20 is bad for you?
Yes, H20 is bad.
H20 would be
Yeah.
an interesting molecule.
You're an interesting molecule.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Are you flirting?
I don't know. It sort of sounded like it.
There's 6 of us. There's 4 of them.
How
We
do
can
you
take them
feel?
out right now. And this whole thing
Dr.
right
Quinn?
here.
Me?
Billy,
Yeah.
all of your shit is
Terrible.
Why?
Yeah,
Because of the question that I couldn't rephrase.
That's fair.
I don't know. It takes me a while because
Looks like the
freaking English is not my first
Yeah,
language, so it takes me a while, a little longer.
Rephrasing is
Yeah.
also like
Yeah, I had a feeling
difficult
that
thing
felt
to
funny.
use.
Like right now, I know how I will have rephrased it, but at the time, I just
Oh, you're
can't.
such a bully, Daisy.
Yeah, that's why I generally try and do the best I can to make sure that my questions aren't objectable ahead
you
of
do
time.
this
But
in
obviously,
prison.
that doesn't help with questions that come up during
I
the
mean,
case.
people don't really have shit
Yeah.
in their pockets in the prison.
Yeah, but you could get like stuff and, like these bags and these rolling papers. Just get tons of them.
What, just get a shitload of rolling papers and
Yeah.
fill inmates' pants with them?
Yeah, you could like make like designs and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Right on
I
the
do
secret
find it funny that
messages.
almost everyone that showed up was involved with the case. There's only one who, two who weren't.
Did you look at my pockets?
Cool.
No. Do you want me to? Okay.
Well, Honey's boyfriend and Daisy.
He's over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there was only a couple.
I show up to court
Oh.
cases, okay?
Yeah, me too. I've never
I
not
assume
shown up to
First
court.
Temple.
I just randomly show up to cases because Valkyrie.
I don't know any other temples
Valkyrie?
that I've met.
Yeah,
Valkyrie legal?
Yep. I'll probably have to leave that message aboard sometime soon. We'll see.
Any of you guys got a bandage?
I can help
yeah,
you.
I got a couple.
My
Oh,
hands
also,
are
there's a doctor
bandages.
here.
Yeah.
Daisy stole mine.
Yeah.
You didn't have any bandages.
I had 30.
Pocket medic.
She robbed me. I want to press charges.
She'll give you a ride along someday. Pocket medic.
Easy.
Fox gave me a ride along for like 30 seconds, then we got shot at by Vagos.
Oh wow, you guys only lasted 30 seconds. I mean,
I can talk my way out of Vagos. I know Spanish, which
There you
will
go.
only make them more angry
No,
because they don't.
They don't know Spanish?
No,
Okay, interesting.
I don't know
Oh,
a single
definitely-
Vago that knows Spanish.
It definitely went longer than 30 seconds, but I had to pull off to the side and kick Daisy out of the car before I could go shoot back.
Yeah, with like 2 minutes maybe.
oh, the last
You
2
were like,
minutes,
shit,
huh?
I can't bring you.
It's fine, just drop her off in the middle of a war zone.
No, I usually like went around the block and dumped me off. I had to run up here and tell the judge that like there was an issue and the bench trial would be delayed. He got real mad.
Yeah, it's like, Your Honor, we'd like to motion to delay the case because the defendant is currently shooting the police.
Yeah.
I had a client who ended up not showing up to court because he had a warrant out for his arrest for doing the exact same thing that the trial was for the previous night.
God damn it.
Yeah, that was fun. 2 of my 4 previous cases have been ended by default.
That's how 2 of my 3 total cases went.
Oh yeah, were we on the one of those together or okay?
Because before I joined Valkyrie, my client didn't show up, and that was like a real estate thing. And then Soze and Bo Tucker didn't show up for Siz's appeal.
That's it, right?
Yeah, and then I did low case drug trafficking case.
I do find it funny that a judge almost got a failure to appear charge.
Well, I mean, we have to spam his email.
Yeah.
Yeah, Soze
Yeah,
and
here you
Tucker
go,
were both
present.
supposed to get failure to appear charges, and I don't think Splainer ever actually pushed them.
Damn, that would have been amusing. What is Larry doing? I think he's just in his head.
Billy, that MDT picture that you made is great.
Wait, which one?
Which one?
Oh, Sabrina Francis.
Oh yeah,
Sabrina?
all the MDT photos I take are great.
I wanna see.
I mean, she requested.
I didn't have any water, so
I thought it was
just
like
drank
the
some apple
last
juice
thing I
like
could
that.
do for her before I sent her to prison for forever.
Fuck, I don't have a Sabrina. Yes.
Yeah, that one actually that is a pretty good picture.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Fox, I miss you.
You said that
Easy,
already.
Russia.
I know, but I still miss you. Who am I
Well,
supposed
then
to
why don't
tackle
you
when
go
I
with him
come
and
from the
kill
bus station?
Russians?
What? He's going overseas?
To clap Russians.
Mm.
There we go. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Here
I call
comes
this
the
my
ham walking
DOC
around.
I see him.
opposite. And this is just how I
You guys
say
ready
it
to
when I
lose?
watch my DOC babies shoot each
I
other.
don't know.
with
We'll see.
beanbags.
You think we're gonna lose?
I think anything's possible.
Okay.
It's true. Anything is possible.
How much is she suing for?
A lot.
Yeah,
15,
it's not as
15.
exaggerated
Oh,
as
actually, it's not that
normal
much.
cases, but
Yeah, it's
30,
probably,
Yeah.
80.
I thought there was
she's
another
asking,
zero.
She's asking for 104,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there
That's
was
still a
another
lot of
zero, so it was
fucking
like
money.
500,000.
No, it's just a lot of different sections
Yeah.
of charges or requests, whatever.
Okay. Oh shit. 1 second.
Courtney.
Why would you say that?
Do we have everybody here?
I haven't said anything.
I have a feeling a baby lawyer is in for an ass kicking. I don't know why.
Cordy, please.
You might be right about that. Baby lawyer, I have put baby lawyers in the corner for things I see on my phone that are outlined in blue.
With all due respect, Your Honor, I'm just giving my medical profession opinion.
Oh.
Medical profession.
He's a doctor.
Yep.
But
Yeah, he's a doctor.
Conflict of interest.
Why is it a conflict of interest?
Do no harm, and lawyers have to harm people.
he's right.
Lawyers have to harm people?
They do.
How many corrupt people are there in the DOJ?
All of
How
them.
many people are is Buddha
there in
actually
the
correct?
PD? Everyone's corrupt.
All of them except for me.
Sustained.
And me. I'm
Incorrect.
contractually obligated to not be corrupt.
Incorrect.
Same.
No, yeah, actually, the district attorney is not allowed to be corrupt.
I mean, that's
PD
what
are
they say.
supposed to not be allowed to be corrupt. I'm going to underline supposed to be.
I technically could be if I wanted.
Just a few select officers I'm going to have to introduce you to, sir.
We got a perjury charge coming up for Pred that I think will decide a lot of that.
Once again, I'm going to underline supposed to be. And then I myself am totally and 100% incorruptible. And people have tried.
I mean, I've seen some things with coffee.
Totally and 100% incorruptible. People have tried. All have failed. Okay. After thoroughly combing through everything that was presented before me today, I cannot find anything that would lead me to believe that either Officer Fox or Judge Coyote did anything out of the ordinary, or that I would be second-guessing anything that they have done. I see no malicious intent on the part of Officer Fox. I see no malicious intent on the part of Judge Coyote. After going through all of this, I have to agree with all of the assessments that were made, and everything that was done. I do apologize that you were held unnecessarily, but I mean, Officer Fox was presented with an incredibly unusual circumstance and believed that, throwing the plaintiff's ass in prison might not have been in her best interest, that it might have done more harm than good, and instead decided to find a different way to get it done, while ensuring that she was segregated from the general population. That way she could not harm them, while not basically putting her into a situation where she'd be surrounded by hardened criminals all the time. That is exactly what a 5150 is for, when an officer has a belief that someone's mental status could be called into question. I see no issues here at all. I'm going to find for the defense in this case. Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Yana.
Thank you.
Good job, baby attorneys. You guys did great. Proud of you guys.
Thank you, everybody.